Nick, name a food that you feel free to sample while grocery shopping.
I've never had a sample at a grocery store.
Yeah, right.
What happens there? Meatballs? I imagine they fit well on toothpicks because that's an hors d'oeuvre.
This is like get the frozen meatballs out of the frozen food section.
I don't know what they sample, man.
I got one.
Well, we might not get a chance.
Damn.
Free meatballs is not on there, unfortunately.
I didn't think it was.
Cookies was number 3.
Oh.
When I was like 5, I was in the grocery store with my mom, and I like picked a grape out of the produce section and ate it, and she gave me like a stern lecture in public. It was like, that's stealing, like you're stealing from people, and it really stuck with me. So I've never sampled. Even, we were in the bulk food section, and you're like, maybe I want to try this nut to make sure it's better. No, my politeness now means I will buy like $10 of a nut and then take it home and be like, I don't even like it.
Oh, you thought of a different thing. I was thinking of when they have a little kiosk set up and they have like a bunch of hors d'oeuvres for you to take and try something, so you'll then go buy it, not just like stealing food.
Oh, I think they've gone with a little bit of both, because like the cookies here, it doesn't make sense if people are just ripping into the bags and then like pulling out Oreos like just to have one. But I do think the bulk food section is maybe a place you'd get it from.
Whenever I buy food at the deli, they always offer me a sample there.
Like cheese?
Cheese, meats, yeah, they always give me a slice.
Oh, you get like awesome. Potato salad for free?
Yeah, they'll give you like a little spoon to taste it.
Shit, I want some of that.
So if like I order something, like, do you want to taste it first? I was like, yes, I do.
I had a really good relationship with the deli that I went to in university, and they would do that sometimes.
Oh, so it's got to be earned. Greatness is not a thing you can just
Well, maybe it's customary, but I didn't get it until I'd been going there for like a year. So I think Mathis has a good one. I'm going to go with cheese.
Let's see if it's up there for the steal.
Boom!
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
160.
I used to get my mom, like when I used to go grocery shopping with her when I was a kid. We'd go to the deli counter when they'd give us a slice of cheese. Me and Zach.
You know what number 6 was? Deli.
More cheese?
Deli.
Deli.
There you go. Yeah.
The whole thing.
We learned a little bit about ourselves. And oh, and also number 5 or number 4 was deodorant. Name a food that's free to sample at the grocery store.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, deodorant.
Just take a bite out of the stick of deodorant.
Do people do that? I guess they mean smell, but it really implies that you're like rubbing it on. Dude, I gotta ask your opinion on something, because I was at the deli counter yesterday. Kate and I made the outrageous mistake of going grocery shopping at like 5 p.m. on a Sunday. So it was.
It's a nightmare. You gotta leave the deli counter for later if you're gonna do that.
I went to the deli counter. There's a dude up there, and he was like finishing. There were like 4 or 5 people in line, so that's a busy deli counter. But the dude who was up there was like finishing his order, so I was like, "We good."
I mean, I guess he had 100 things he wanted.
So the dude hands him like 400 grams of pastrami, and then he's like, "Anything else, sir?" And he's like, "Yeah, can I get a couple slices of that corned beef?" And he's like, "Yeah, no problem." And I'm like, "Okay, you know what? 2 kinds of meat." Easy there, Great Gatsby, but that's okay.
It's not over.
Wait, you're not allowed to get 2 kinds of meat at your deli counter?
Well, then, no, he got 2 kinds of meat for himself as a person.
What's wrong with that?
He could have a family.
He got his few slices of pastrami, and then they go, "Anything else, sir?" He's, "Yeah, let me get a couple of those slices of pepper turkey." And then he's like, "Okay, sir."
3 meats.
It was like "Okay, sir."
It's strained.
Like, I get it. You want your meat.
Starting
and
to
then
get
he got like 2
uncomfortable.
more things after that. Everyone else is sitting there like, "Oh my god."
So you don't want this guy to get whatever he wants?
There's an unwritten rule. If there's a lineup at the deli counter, you get 2 kinds of meat maximum.
I never heard of that rule.
That is just the unwritten rule of the deli counter.
I've never heard of that.
How many cheeses did he get, too?
For scumbags like you.
Well, maybe, because I never heard of it.
How many cheeses?
I mean, I don't get a whole lot of bunches of oats at the counter, you know?
You just getting the prepackaged shit?
No. I get whatever I want. You know, I usually get 2 meats.
2 meats? Do you put both meats on the same kind of sandwich, or do you mix
Yes, I
up
do.
shit?
I
Okay.
goddamn
You know what?
do.
If you're grocery shopping at like 1 p.m. on a Tuesday, you get 2 meats, you get 4 meats, see if I give a shit.
You will.
I will if I'm behind you.
Yeah, you'll
But I'll also
definitely have
be
a
like, you know what?
opinion, you always do.
That guy's following the rules. This guy was not following the rules. And you know what I hated is then he incentivized everyone after him to get more kinds of meat. Because you're standing in line and you're like, well, I've waited here for
I
like
can
8
get my
minutes.
time's worth.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you
not
don't
just
want people to
400
be
grams of
satisfied,
turkey.
do you?
I'm gonna
Just don't
get
want
400
anyone to be
grams of
happy.
turkey, 400 grams of, or 200 grams of turkey, 200 grams of rosemary ham, and throw in a Swiss farmer sausage while you're at it.
I'll throw you into a Swiss farmer sausage.
That would actually be a punishment because Swiss farmer sausages look like big old bloody turds.
You look like a big.
Sometimes. When it's
So-
Halloween.
Was it because of the fact that it was multiple items, or because it was multiple meats? If he had ordered like some say some egg salad, and also 2 meats, would that have lessened the impact?
You know what? It's illogical, but I think it would have. Because I'd be like, okay, this guy's not just living a decadent sandwich lifestyle, you know, built to variety. He's getting like a balanced meal here, and like maybe he's throwing a picnic or something
plates.
like that. Yeah, exactly. He's got multiple dishes that are gonna be done here. Like, I understand.
But no, you don't understand.
So the reality is, you just want to run this guy's life that you've never met.
No, I just want him to.
Yeah, no, you do.
No, that's not true.
You want to
I
tell
want
him it's
him-
not okay.
You're a terrible
I want him
person.
to have the common decency to not show up at the busiest time at the grocery store and get an outrageous, take up the deli counter's time.
I don't know, dude.
I don't
It
think
just
it
sounds
works like
you.
that.
You guys like some sort of weird superiority complex.
It's not a superiority.
You think that
complex.
like everyone's like on the same page as you, but no one fucking is.
I want them to treat
You're like
their
you're
fellow.
telling us
It's
about
about
like, this
respect, okay?
This unwritten rule that
I
you
want them to
made
treat
up.
their fellow man with
This
respect.
unwritten rule that you totally created in your mind to
You know
make
what?
yourself
It's the
feel
rules
better.
that separate
Make
us from the
yourself feel
animal
more
kingdom.
superior.
Dude, just walk away from the deli counter for 5 seconds if
I
it bothers
needed
you
the
so
meat.
much.
I
Yeah,
didn't
just
want to
go-
lose my place in line. To
Go
another,
somewhere
you
else
know-
and come back.
I didn't want to
You're
lose my.
so full. You're so far up your ass.
I didn't want to lose my place in line to some fucking Johnny can only have ham on Mondays and then he needs some fucking pastrami on Wednesdays or he's gonna cry.
Maybe, what if he needed a low salt meat for like health reasons or something, and you're gonna
Then order one low salt meat.
But his family likes other meat.
That's acceptable. But any man
But I'll
gets
judge you
6 kinds
anyway.
of meat at the deli counter. I don't think he's got a family. I'm
You're
just
full of
throwing that.
shit.
Oh
out
my
there.
god, you're judging his family life too now.
I think he has a family.
I don't think he's got a
He's
family.
not worthy of love.
His family is the lunch that he makes on a daily basis.
I disrespect
you're
his
so
diet
far
and
up
his
your own-
family
What
life.
are you talking about? You're just mad because I'm never wrong.
You're so wrong. You're so...
Dude, Twitter agreed with me. That's all I'm saying.
I don't give a fuck.
Twitter's a hug box, man.
Twitter agreed with me.
Twitter agreed with me. Wow. Wow.
What if
Okay.
that's his family life, is Twitter?
Exactly, man.
Jay Smith, put NL on the deli counter because he's done.
Slice him up.
Up your own ass.
I'll have
You know
5
what?
types of NL meat. Wait, that
When I
sounds
go to the
weird.
grocery store, it's fucking warm, man. I'm in and out of that grocery store in like 11 minutes. It doesn't matter what's on the list, it's getting done. I got a whole route planned as soon as I get in. It's like payday the heist.
No,
And
I
this
agree
guy-
with that. I do
This
that
guy
too.
is like the drill breaking, I'm like, fuck, I need to get this meat and get out of here before the Canucks game lets out so the fucking traffic isn't so bad. And then he's like, oh, yeah, somebody fix the damn drill. By the way, can I have 400 grams of Montreal smoked meat, please? Can I get a
400
sample? Can I get a
400
sample
if
of
anything sounds like a
solids?
lot.
400 grams is like, if a man had 2 sandwiches a day, that's what I'd expect his work week lunches to be.
That'd be sweet. I would like 2 sandwiches a day.
You could have 2 sandwiches a day.
You think so?
Yeah.
What kind of sandwiches would you allow? Because
Yeah, which ones would you allow? I want to know.
I think, well, as long as it's the same kind of meat, or you purchase the different kinds
There
of
are
meat.
rules.
As long as you purchase the different kinds of meat at an acceptable hour, that shows care for your fellow man. I don't care.
Well, all right. So how about this? What if you go to the deli counter, you're like, all right, I know what I want. I want the honey ham and the smoked turkey breast.
You know what? I think if you outline that in advance, then that lessens the strain because you know it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay, so you go in with the 2 pre-planned meats, then as you get those orders filled, you realize you want a sample of something, and
No, I
after
do
you have the
shit.
sample, you change your mind and want something else.
I don't even.
Now you're a menace to society.
Oh, see, now we've found our limits now.
No, I was saying, is that what you would say?
Yeah, I'd be like, that dude's a piece of
Yeah,
garbage.
it is.
I definitely wouldn't do the
Yeah,
sample.
see, everyone's got their deli counter limit. We're finding out where Josh's lies right now.
I don't really have a limit. Like, if you want to order as much shit as you want, there's 2 people working there usually, and I can just go shop for other stuff until they're done.
Nick, you gotta stand up for what you want in this life, which means passive-aggressively tweeting about the dude at the deli counter when he costs you any delay at all.
I tweet about other shit like that, but not that specifically.
It's the North American way. It would make me so much angrier if he, like, ate half of a sandwich with 4 different kinds of meat on it and was like, this fucking sucks. I would be mad.
What if he's making, like, a Dagwood or something? Is that acceptable?
That's, like, so outrageous. Like, you're welcome to do so, but come on, dog. Let's not be ridiculous here.
He wants to recreate one of those, like, newspaper cartoons from the 50s where you make the sandwiches as tall as you are.
I don't even know what the appeal...
yeah, dude, you stack them together like a house of cards?
That's another issue altogether.
You shuffle them all together?
But if you buy the Dagwoods at a socially responsible time, that's fine.
Maybe it's time that these deli counters start standing up for human rights. You know, start turning people away.
Look,
you've had your meat.
I'll be the hero the deli
Get
counter
out.
needs. Because I don't expect the grocery store owner to lay his own balls on the line and be like, you know, maximum 2 meats per customer. That's an anti-consumer policy. That's,
and only 1
An
cheese.
anti-consumer policy.
That's gonna rile the people up. But I can be the grocery store champion if they need me to be. I'll be the guy who's like, don't you think you've had enough, sir?
I'm just picturing that actual interaction. You tap someone on the shoulder and lean around them a little bit.
Hey, buddy.
It'd be so awkward.
I want to get sandwiches, man. You're not the only person who loves sandwiches in this line.
And then you'd both, like, want to get out of each other's way so hard that neither of you would be able to face the other ever again.
Oh, that's just, like, without a doubt.
Par for the course.
Yeah, that's just how interactions go, you know?
Anyone work at a deli in chat that can speak to, like, your attitude on this situation anonymously? Because
that's fair, because if you're at the deli, like, you're there no matter what, right? Like, what do you care if one dude orders 8 meats or 8 people order 1?
Whoa.
I'm not saying deli workers don't matter, okay?
You don't like
just
deli
implying
workers,
it.
I've had great arrangements with deli workers in the past. I've gotten samples. My college butcher shop / grocery store. We got along very well with the people that manned the delis and women at the delis as well. They loved us.
The delis.
We were local. And you know why they loved us? Is because we went in there and we said, hey, give us 300 grams of Montreal smoked meat. See you later, Tony. See you next week.
Is that what happened?
Wouldn't they have loved you more if you ordered more meat?
Probably not, but if I ever wanted to crank up the meat, I just got more.
No, because their pay is not directly proportional to the amount of meat that they make.
Yeah,
unless
no,
they
you're right.
own the
No,
deli.
actually, they were employed on a meat commission basis, as is common in the deli industry.
I was thinking they own some kind of stake in the deli themselves,
Some
in
kind
my
of stake in the
theoretical.
deli?
Yeah, we all own some kind of steak when we go to the deli. Fucking, oh, you're gonna be on sale at the deli counter tomorrow. And I'm gonna buy both of you in spite of it going against my principles.
Wow, a spite buy.
Man, you're so stupid.
You guys are fucking with me though, right? Like, you would have been mad at this guy?
What guy?
At the guy at the deli counter.
No.
I'll tell
would
you,
you-
my internal monologue would have been, all right, this is taking a few minutes. I'm gonna go somewhere else. That's as far as I would have gone
My
with that.
internal I'd be like, I guess I just gotta wait for a little bit.
Yeah.
That would be my internal
If there were
monologue.
people
Better-
behind me, I might not go somewhere else. That does matter a little.
Jennifer, thank you very much for the subscription, as well as everybody else that subscribed while I was going on my tirade about the deli.
Oh, Jennifer.
Why did they subscribe to you during that time? That's like your worst time.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's viewer count's going up the more I talk about the deli. So I think
Yep.
I represent the silent majority of the deli customers, to be honest.
Well,
think
or they
you
just like to
represent-
watch a train crash.
You represent stupidity.
See, what people don't get is that you're free to go to the deli counter and do whatever you want. But I'm also free
No,
to be
people
like,
get
"Oh,
that.
This guy's being kind of an asshole." Like, that's the punishment. Is that you can be a little bit selfish. That's fine. And I'll be like, well, this guy's kind of a dick. And it's not like I'm gonna, put you in jail or something like that. First off, I don't have that kind of power, thankfully, for you. And secondly, like, that's not justice. You don't deserve to go to
justice is-
jail just for being kind of a dick in the
item.
deli counter.
The problem,
you're
though, is that
dumb
your
fuck.
standard is completely subjective, and a lot of people with anxiety are worried that people really think about them that way all the time, regardless
Yo,
of if it's
this
rational.
dude had anxiety, you wouldn't be ordering 4 kinds of meat at the deli counter.
Because he'd be hyper aware of everyone judging him, though.
That's a pretty good point, though.
If he's got anxiety about being considered a little selfish for ordering a lot of kinds of meat at the deli counter, That anxiety is deserved.
Maybe he's got a family.
You know, everybody's got a family, man.
Maybe he wants to feed them meat.
He's got his whole family's in fucking keto or something like that, but they can't agree about the kinds of meat they like.
No comment about me
You
sipping.
get mad at people for filling their gas tank all the way up at rush hour. No, because they don't fill it up in the highway. That would be ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense.
Well, okay, so like if you're
They
I
took
don't
your
know.
spot. You can't fill up your car now.
Yeah, always fill it up.
At the gas station,
Now, if
fill it up.
if you're filling it up and then going to the store and buying yourself a little snackerino.
Yeah, and
without
then
moving
like, oh
your
wait,
car
you know, I like to get an 80% regular unleaded, 30% premium, 15% diesel build in my
And you
car.
gotta
Just makes it
negotiate the
run-
price. You gotta go inside and talk about it for a while.
Try to negotiate or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
too
no-
far.
No negotiations allowed.
When you go to the gas station, you fill her up.
I think the implication, though, is that you're waiting to get one of the pumps and they're all full, and this one dude that you're behind is like, I'm gonna take 100 years.
If he's filling up his car, that's a good excuse.
So that's okay, but the deli counter's not.
Yeah, that's fine, man. That's the requisite, like, the amount of time to fill up your car with gas is 1 unit of being at the gas station. Buying 4 different
It's
kinds
binary.
of meat, buying 4 different kinds of meat is like 3 different units of being at the deli counter. Even if there's a long line, no, at the gas station you fill it up. That's the rule of the gas station. Oh, don't give me this. NL, you seem like the kind of person that would fat shame somebody at the gym. Where does that even come from?
That's just rude.
If they're doing 30 sets on a squat rack or something, then maybe I'll be like, come on, dog. But it wouldn't be because of their physical fitness. It'd be because, look, like your 30 sets of one is taking up a lot of time here. If you're taking, you know, gym stealthies and then you're uploading them to Instagram and being like, check out this hot biddy totally liked my Instagram post.
Is that what you say?
My stealthies are blowing up. Then I'd be like, this dude's an asshole. I don't. Everyone immediately takes the side of Meat Man. Meat Man might fat shame people at the gym.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Well, we didn't
exactly.
get a chance to
he
ask.
probably doesn't fill his car up either.
I guess you would not fill your car up if you've only got like a 20 in your wallet or something, and you don't want to bother with the credit card.
If you're bothered by the credit card, then what the hell are you bothered by convenience for?
Why
know?
do you have a credit card if you don't want to use it?
I think you're missing the point. I'm just kind of figuring out a
No,
theoretical
there's no
here.
point. Like, yo, I got this credit card, but all I do is pay cash.
Maybe he doesn't have a credit card. He's just got the
Okay.
20 in his wallet.
Well, of course.
Maybe I
I'm not
should have
gonna be
just
like,
said
"Well,
that."
Look at this shithead. Didn't fill up his car, even though he can't. You know?
Yeah, but he's a menace to society because now he's got to stop more often to get more gas.
You're taking it way too far, man. There's no extenuating circumstance or extenuating circumstance.
Extenuating works too,
That's when
though.
you're at the gym doing the 30 squats of 1 each. There's no extenuating circumstance that leads this man to be like, I need 4 different kinds of salted pork products.
Do you like salted pork?
I
products?
I
gave
am
you a
a
few
huge fan,
examples.
which is why this became an issue in the first place. I wanted to get my salted pork products. And he was very slightly inhibiting me from making it happen.
Porkman did nothing wrong.
I think Porkman, he had a very minor social slight. And my reaction was a little passive-aggressive tweet about it. As far as I'm concerned, we're even.
As far as he's concerned, you're probably just a jerk.
As far as he's concerned, he doesn't even know I exist.
What if he's a fan?
I wish you wouldn't pick on, like...
What if
people
somebody
you don't
put that
know.
together? They're like, wait, I was just at the deli. Oh God, was somebody thinking that about me while I was ordering my meat?
Why do you instantly rush to the defense of the meat man?
I'm just picturing myself in that position, and I would be
You
really
would never
crushed.
be this meat man. You and me were not cut from the same cloth as this meat man.
Are you saying he's not a man?
I'm saying this meat man, he's imposing his will on other people.
I think you should have more
No,
humanity.
he's not. You're imposing your will on other people
No, I'm
by
not.
making up these
I'm not
stupid
opposing my
rules.
will. I'm just complaining. That's what I do best.
No, I disagree. Here's the little B with a tiny little D.
I mean, be that as it may. I'm just saying. He took a little too much. Took a little too much meat. I hope he enjoys it though. I don't. I hope he chokes on his sandwiches. Nah, dog. You spent your time as well. So
Yeah, just pushing for capital punishment for this guy inconveniencing me for 5 seconds.
Oh, you can't complain? Oh, somebody doesn't turn on their signal light. I really wish that guy would turn on his signal light. Oh, what if his signal light's broken? What if his wife's pregnant? He's got to get to the hospital right away, you know? People are just, you know, conscientious sometimes. What if a signal light killed his family, you know? It's like, you guys, you know, you look for the good in people too much.
I don't know if the signal light carries though, because like that doesn't inconvenience me, it just is irresponsible, so I wouldn't really have those thoughts.
It could inconvenience you by ending your life or making a lane change more difficult.
It's true.
Yeah, well, I don't know, maybe that wasn't the right
signal.
word then, but it doesn't make
Not
me
too many
wait.
situations where you're not going to use a turn signal.
What? You should use the turn signal at all times.
Yeah, that's what I
You
said.
just leave the right one on at all times.
No, that's the worst. You let the right one in, but you leave the signal off.
right.
And now, what if Meat Man's wife is pregnant, and then
Meat man.
she had cravings for all these kinds of meats? You know what? That's the first story concocted where I'll be like, that dude's got to do what he's got to do. If
I
his
already said,
pregnant
what if he
wife-
has a family? That could all be in that.
Well, no, but if his family's just like, Dad, I want 3 different kinds of corned beef, then I'd be like, you know what? You got to tell your kid no sometimes. But if his wife is pregnant and then she's like, I want pastrami and corned beef and blah blah blah, then I'd be
So
like,
now there is a you're fucking
in the hypothetical situation, I'm like, you know what? That dude's got
I'll
to do
tell
right
this
by
guy
his
how to
spouse.
father his children properly.
The spouse is having his baby. He has to do right by her without a doubt. But I would be self-conscious. I'd be like, you know, I'm sorry. Do you have time for me to order all these meats right now?
No, you wouldn't. You would never do that.
I would. It's
about-
a hypothetical situation because I would never be this meat man to begin with.
How about we take it to a place where actually I can relate a little bit more, and that's people with trade-ins at GameStop. You know,
Okay,
you just
yeah.
want to pick up the new Madden, right? Because that's
Yep.
what people do. And the dude in front of you has 100 fucking 360 games he wants to trade in for 50 cents each.
Yeah.
How do you react to that situation?
You know, in my head, I'd be like, this guy, you know, he's got it. There's never going to be a right time for this guy to trade stuff in, but it does suck that I'm here behind him. So I would be like, I don't necessarily think he's being selfish, because it's not like he could just, you know, drop him off. I guess it's not
Yeah,
like he has
absolutely.
another option.
You can't do that.
That is as easy. But this fucking meat man,
No,
look-
all right. What's the difference between the games and the meat?
because he could make do with only one kind of meat.
You don't know that.
He could make the same amount of sandwiches with 400 grams of salami that he could with 400 grams of ham. Nope.
Who wants just an all salami sandwich? You need the ham to go with
Everybody
it.
wants an all salami
No,
sandwich.
no,
It's the king
no,
of the cured
no,
meats.
No,
no.
I might die on this
You're so
run.
far up your own ass, you can smell your butt.
I can smell it from here, mister.
If I saw that you had the copy of Madden and then the dude in front of you was about to do that, I would have been like, hey man, is it okay if he goes in front of you? And sometimes they say no to that.
Not to say that I've never done anything wrong in my life, but if I got
That's
a
what it
big,
sounds like.
well, I mean that is what I'm implying. But if I'm like I've got a big order or something like that, and someone's behind me and they've got like a magazine, I'll be like, you know what? Why don't you go ahead? And sometimes they do go, no, that's okay. And I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna argue with you, but you're gonna regret this.
Well,
Pretty
no,
soon.
I'm saying I'm the cashier in this situation, and
Yeah.
I'm saying, can you let this guy behind you go in front of you? And they might say no. Like, that's
Oh.
when the animosity becomes real at
in
that
that
point.
case, that dude actually is a dick. And
Yeah.
I'd like to think that's probably how Meat Man would have reacted. I don't know anything about him, but that's my guess.
Probably
the only
a
thing I
real
know about
conceited
him is
asshole,
a
yeah.
negative impression. So I'm pretty sure that he's a fucking asshole.
You're a fucking ass.
Be that as it may. I know the proper etiquette at the meat counter.
You don't know. You only know what's up your own meat counter's ass.
That doesn't even make any sense, my own meat counter's ass. What does this mean?
Just barely hanging
NL,
in.
you'll never know the joy of having 3 different kinds of meat in a sandwich. No, I get my ham on Mondays, my turkey on Tuesdays, and then my West Coast wild cheddar on Wednesdays.
No, you get them all on the same day, and then you fucking eat all of them on any day that you want.
Yeah, but then people are gonna be mad at me.
I'm mad at you.
I can tell.
I'm surprised you didn't bring up the why doesn't he just go to the place where there's packaged meat already and not bother the deli counter.
No, because I understand the per unit cost for that stuff. Like the
Yeah, but he
prepackaged
should
meats,
incur that cost for being such a thoughtless asshole, right?
But I understand the priority for meat, like meat. What am I going for? Like premium meats. You can't really get like a great selection of premium specialty meats in those prepackaged stuff. It's always like, you know, mock chicken or something like that. Oh, you buy like a fucking loaf of
Mock chicken. Is that like when
It's like
chicken
mock
has
turtle soup.
Speed of sound.
This is when the chicken rolls into a ball and then can go over the breakable blocks in Super Metroid.
Mock chicken. But it ain't like, you know, mock chicken.
I actually
You guys
don't know
don't
what
have-
that is.
You guys
I've
don't
never
have
had
mock
that.
chicken? It's like imitation crab, but for chicken.
Oh, that sounds a little creepy.
That's, I mean, that's why I mind that for its
Yeah.
comedic value.
Somebody called you a meat fascist in my chat.
Someone has subscribed to me with the name NL's a meat fascist, which, to be honest with you, I don't know if it's fascist to just have perhaps a social norm that is a little bit needlessly strict. I don't know if that's fascism. I'm not saying he should be unable to reproduce
It's like
or something.
casual fascism, I guess.
That's exactly it. It's casual fascism. I'll accept
Oh, there
it.
we go.
Gotta find the right title.
We need a little bit more casual fascism in our lives.
You know, say what you will about Mussolini, but at least he kept the deli counter running on time.
Oh, I don't even want to go there. Oh, you know who's gonna have opinions about all this is Rob.
Dude, I think Rob's gonna be on my side, honestly.
You think so?
No, give him the call
Rob
right
is
now. Get him in the
Rob
call right
loves
now.
delis, and I think anything that makes delis less efficient is gonna get on Rob's nerves.
I think he's
No,
gonna toe
Rob-
the line. Rob
What are
would
you
just
doing with your
mug the
life,
meat
NL?
man.
What was at the meat counter for like half?
Is Rob in the call yet? Because I need his opinion.
Oh, I'll add him up if you're ready for him.
Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear what he has to say.
I already know what he's gonna say.
I'm very confident we're gonna be on the same team here.
Team meat or not team meat? Because I've seen that team before.
Team, lots of meat, but all of one kind.
I
it's
beat
not-
half of Team Meat and Super Meat
Incur
Boy.
the wrath of people behind you. I hope he's been following along, but if he hasn't, let me do the talking.
Oh, you're gonna
hello?
sway the
Hello?
vote. You're such a
Listening
piece
to
of
this?
shit.
What's going on, fellas? How's it going?
Well, I'm gonna paint you a hypothetical picture that is.
Did you hear any of the first segment?
I did not.
All right.
I wouldn't either.
Good luck.
You're at the deli counter, all right?
Okay, all right.
It's
I like
a
where this is
busy
starting.
day. Sunday at 5 p.m. is a hypothetical. And then the dude in front of you orders like 6 different kinds of meat. Every time he comes back, the cashier or the deli counter comes back, he goes, yeah, can I also get like 400 grams of go fuck your mother, right? And then I'd like to know how you feel about that. Was he making a social offense?
A faux pas, if you will.
If the guy is coming back from the machine and then he's then asking
all right,
for a
you
new
lose
meat,
me.
Josh, you want to take a stab at this?
The machine?
The slicer.
Oh, okay. All right. See,
The machine?
I was really confused there for a second. No, Ryan, can you tell the story instead of?
That's exactly how it went.
You
No,
kind of
no,
glossed
no.
over a lot of it, though.
What did I
Yeah,
gloss
yeah.
over?
You gotta
What
tell
is
the
happening?
fucking story.
That's the whole story.
You hyperbolous son of a bitch.
This dude was at the meat counter,
damn it.
and it was a busy day. I lined up like 4 people behind him because I was like, oh, this dude's almost done. And then every time the dude came back, he's like, yeah, can I also get like a couple of slices of pastrami? And then he'd like pull out the big hunk of pastrami and put it on the slicer, reconfigure it so it's sliced to the proper thickness for pastrami, cut like 2 slices. He's like, oh, it's good. And then he would be like, okay, now give me 2 slices of Montreal smoked meat. And you're like, come on, dude.
you would order it by the slice.
Well, he was like 50 grams, which is like a couple slices equivalent. He wasn't. I'll admit, I was deliberately misrepresenting him by suggesting that he was just getting a couple slices.
I gotta let this person talk here because we have an actual deli manager in my chat who's
shit.
weighed in.
oh, okay.
All right,
Don't
so
steal my name.
hey Nick, I am a deli manager and I put forward a 6-pound meat/cheese limit per customer. Anything more requires ordering in advance. This is standard for most retail stores and works well.
But it was not the weight. It was the variety.
Right, so there's no counter for variety, only for weight. So there's a bit of a
it's
hole
deli-
there.
How fucking sweet would it be if this man's watching the show and then he goes to like the International Deli Manager Conference next year and proposes like, we've been thinking about volume, we need to think about variety. And then stores nationwide start instituting like a 2 meat per customer limit.
Oh, you might have just
should
changed
see
the
your
world.
faces in my fantasy where this comes true, especially you, Josh.
You get to be God in this scenario.
Anyways, I think it's perfectly acceptable for a man to want the meat that he desires in life. Ryan thinks that there should be a 2-person or two limit max on just about anything that he wants to do, and I just think he's being kind of a dick and a fascist
I
about it.
don't dispute that.
I'll just say that I think the man can get his meat. You can't keep a man from his meat.
We're right.
is all
You
I'm
weighed in
saying.
on our side then.
But I
Oh.
will say
It's very rude. I can admit that it's rude if there's a line behind you.
I'm not saying.
But I'm not gonna limit a man on his meat.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
you shouldn't be able to get the meat. I'm just saying I should also be able to be like, look at this Joker.
I called it. He towed the line. Victory for me.
Towing the line is on my side as far as I'm concerned.
you should at least open up to the guy like, hey, I'm gonna order a bunch of different things right now. Cause like the guy, he keeps coming back to the counter thinking like, okay, this motherfucker's done.
Yeah.
But no, he's got another meat that he's got to unwrap now. He doesn't know. Was the guy taking off his gloves every time too? Cause that would just be the icing on the cake, really.
Oh, don't get the cake involved too. He's gonna have to go
Yeah,
to the
hey, we're going
bakery
to the,
after that.
Yeah,
I mean,
go to the
it's
bakery?
sliced cake. Here's a sub question. When you guys go to buy meat from your delicatessen, do you mention how thin you would like the meat?
only if they ask. If they go like shredded or sliced, I'll give them my preference. Otherwise, it's all you, dog. You're the butcher.
Yeah.
What
I mean,
about
like-
you, Bob? I'm very eager to hear what your answer is here.
I always tell them very thin, because the thing is, when you don't tell them very thin, the meat people, they'll get lazy. They'll get lazy, and then they'll make these big.
Rob, we don't call them the meat people anymore.
Dude,
Meat man exists.
there's
Now
like
there's
these
meat people.
We have not talked about meat people.
there's huge chunks of meat. You don't want that.
Oh,
You want like a nice slice that you can kind of, layer.
So, Cobalt, you go to the deli pretty regularly, right?
Oh, here we go.
What kind of
Just
deli?
any old deli, like at the grocery store. Do you ever go to the deli?
Yeah.
You like a ham or a turkey man, right? You like some little bit of turkey
I like
sometimes?
roast beef and turkey.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a roast beef guy as well.
Imagine you're waiting, you're going doing your shopping for the day, right? And you get in the deli line. There's maybe a guy or two ahead of you. Guy's ordering a few different types of meat. Maybe he wants some ham, and then he also wants some cheddar, and then he also wants some smoked turkey, and then he also wants some roast beef. At any point in that situation, are you going, this guy's a menace to society, or are you cool with this?
Well, this is a little bit misleading.
All right. Do you want to frame it the way you want to frame it?
Well, here's how I frame it. Where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line at the socially acceptable amount of items to get at the deli counter?
I mean, he needs to know what he wants ahead of time, unless he's not ready to order.
He knows, but he's waiting until each part of the order gets processed to order the next part. He's not laying it out right away, if that's what you're saying.
I'd be like, hurry the fuck up! I got some meat to buy.
Thank
bro."
you. Cobalt's on my side on this one.
Maybe he
I
is.
make under-breath comments to people that are pissing me off all the time.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, look at this guy. What is this, like some kind of multi-line going on here?
Oh,
Like,
I've used that one.
splits off
all
to the
time.
side?
I'm always
fuck?
roasting these multi-line fuckers.
Do they give you
Multi-line
dirty
and
looks
multi-meat.
for the multi-line look? Because I've also thought about saying it, but I've never been able to muster the courage.
Yo, the deli counter does
Nobody
need
ever
like some
said
tape
shit
on the
back.
grounds to make a line, though.
No
Because
one
as
ever
it
has-
is right now, everybody just lines up at the counter.
Yeah.
How do you? It's like urinal etiquette, you know? If somebody's at the deli counter, you don't want to stand
Yeah.
right next to them. But then if another person comes up and stands right next to them, your natural inclination is that person's next in line.
I'll wait at the front to board the plane for my zone, and all of a sudden, like, a centipede line will come off from the side, and people just skip me. And I'm like, what is this? Like, what are those? I don't get it.
NL just acts like an asshole as his character for the show. What I like to think as my character for the show is like whenever I'm out and I'm silently judging people, which everybody does, just make those silent judgments, verbal judgments, and then just kind of riff on it and see how it happens.
You might learn a little bit about your own psychology.
I have learned a lot about my own psychology. I did not realize the deli thing would lead me so far out in the lurch. I'm really glad I didn't bring it up at the deli counter, because then I would have been like, am I right? And then people would have been like, fuck no, man. So
I mean,
actually,
in a way, it's sort of a consequences-free zone here.
Very true. Except like 30 people did tweet me and say like, "Hey shithead, what's wrong with you? People, blah blah blah. I can't take a joke." But I had another story from the same grocery store. I can't remember if I told it on the show. Stop me if you've heard this one before. There's some dicey areas in Vancouver. This is not necessarily one of them, but the dicey people get around, right? They get all over the place. We were at the grocery store. Guy in front of us, he's looking a little bit like Father John Misty, if you know what I mean. And he has an enormous bag of M&Ms from the bulk area of the grocery store. You know, where you pull down on the handle and you,
Sure.
yeah. So the waitress rings him up, and it's like $11. I'm telling you, this is like maybe like a
Wait,
kilo.
the waitress at the grocery
No, sorry, not the
store?
waitress, the cashier. My mistake. She rings him up, and she's like, "That's like $11 or something." It was a lot of M&Ms. I can't stress this enough. It was like it was a two-hander maybe, and he's like, $11 for M&Ms? Wait, let me see that. And then he like looks at the cash register, and she's like, "Oh, you know, that's what came up on the cash register." And then like another person that works there walks by, and he's like, "Can you excuse me? How much do you think this bag of M&Ms should cost?" And then she just like did not give him the time of day at all. And then he's like, "I can't believe $11 for M&Ms. I pick this stuff up every day. It's never been $11. And then he's like looking back. Cade and I are just behind him in line. He's like looking to us, like, "You guys are gonna back me up, right?" I'm like, "I'm staying out of
Bail me
your,
out, man.
I'm staying out of your shit, you fucking weirdo." And then he's like, "Okay, I'll pay it." So he pays for it. But then after he pays for it, he's like, "I'm just gonna go back to the scale and see how much these weigh." And I'm like, "Come on, dog. We all know you're just going back there to put your money's worth of M&Ms into the bag and then walk out and be like, 'Here's my receipt.'" You're the old, the classic, you know, upsell the M&Ms gag. We've all pulled it, you know, in hard times in our lives. But yeah, it's not as much of a story as the deli counter guy. But this dude was fucking irate about the unit cost of M&Ms in this day and age.
What did he really think was gonna happen?
Argue
the lady out of charging him?
Yeah, I guess so. That she'd be like, "You know what? I'm looking at the size of that bag, and that is ridiculous. I would never pay $11 for that few M&Ms." And also,
To find common
look,
ground.
I'm not trying to bring any level of classism into this at all. But if you're like only getting M&Ms and you can't afford them and it's that dire, get like some rice, man, or some beans. Like the M&Ms, you're just gonna slam them all and feel gross. Like get some long-term, energy producers there. It'll be much better for you from a survival standpoint.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with your economic anything. But like, why do you need that many?
Yeah, like it's a bad decision in the first place.
Just get less.
Oh man, but would I have disliked it more if he was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna go back and pull out some of these M&Ms and reweigh it. Can you save my place in line?" I bet, I don't know, Mr. M&M. I don't think that's okay. I think when you go back to reweigh bulk food items, you give up your place in line. It's in the manual. Oh.
Did he have other stuff?
That was it. He literally only had a kilo of M&Ms.
All he wanted. That's a tough one. I'm kind of with you. I think you give up your spot in line for that.
I think you have to, because it's not like the store is fucking you. Why do you judge people on what they eat so much? Is that really what you get from this story? Not this dude's trying to scam them out of some M&Ms? It's not that I'm saying fuck this dude for just buying M&Ms. I'm just saying, you know, he should, if he's trying to live that frugal lifestyle, which I understand, M&Ms are not the most efficient, per kilojoule food out there. Also, you can look up the price for them on the thing you pull. You know, the pull thing.
I think the real story for me, I mean, there were several stories, but the real major one was that he thought he was going to argue his way out of the price.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen that work at the grocery store. Actually, you know, that's not
true.
true.
Wanted help because he thought other people would agree and could also help him argue his way out.
I have seen that tactic work at the grocery store when the grocery store has actually done something wrong. When they're like, "Well, actually, the sign says that it's like 3 for $1," and they're like, "You know what? That's right. I'm gonna change that for you."
This is a different case.
Right. This is a case of this guy's trying to. He's arguing like the OPEC. Like, wow, the price of gas is crazy these days, and you're like, "Am I right?" Dude, nobody else follows.
Unilaterally riot until they change it.
Nobody else follows the M&M price index, dog. You got your own, weekly publications for that.
He's counting on you being as invested in the price of M&Ms as he is, and that's just crazy.
I'll be like, hold up. Those are M&Ms? I thought those were Skittles. Now you're speaking my language, mister. $10 for that many M&Ms? I don't
then
think
you gotta
so.
go a level deeper. Wait a minute, are these peanut?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe he's getting some artisan M&Ms accidentally, like
these
pretzel
coconut?
or something. And then I'm like, excuse me, I'm a personal injury lawyer who represents M&M-based grocery store claims. I couldn't help but overhear your story. I can't believe that this Save On Foods would try to take advantage of a customer like this.
Better call Saul.
Kate's in the chat backing me up. She's like, that dude was just trying to start shit for no reason. Yeah, we kept looking at us. We're like, no way, man. This is why, remember, like, probably like 2 months ago, I was like, whenever someone tries to talk to me on the street, I just, like, don't give them the time of day. It's because of situations like this. This is the norm.
I was just thinking, though, how surreal would it have been if you completely had his back? And
Yeah,
went
right?
so far to get other people to get his back, and then the entire store revolts.
Or what if he was, like, doing some undercover boss shit? He's, like, the Nestle head. And he's like, M&M's aren't supposed to be selling for this much.
Yeah, like he does know better, actually. And he was just feeling out, see how he could fix it.
Right, yeah. Always undercover bossing me. How come weird shit always happens to you guys at the grocery store? I think 2 things. I have an eye for weirdness. And also, it's Vancouver, man. Like, this, there's some wild stuff going on here. It adds a lot of flavor to the city. I mean, Nick was here. Remember, we were waiting for the we were waiting for the bus.
Pizza Box Man.
Yeah, Pizza Box Man was just like, yeah, you like this street? Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, me too. I liked it more when it was quiet. We're like, what? And he just walked away, threw his pizza box in the trash. That same area, like a couple of months later, Kate and I went out for dinner there, and a dude was walking, and he bumped into me, and then he's like, yeah, you better keep walking. What are you doing? You bumped into me. What do you think? I'm gonna fight you? Like, you made a mistake. Rather than saying sorry, you're just gonna be like, yeah, you better. I'll fucking kick your ass because I walked into you. What is wrong with you? There's a Life Lab story? Yeah, Kate and I were at Life Labs, which is basically just like, they do like blood tests and urine tests and stuff like that. But it's free. So like your doctor just sent, like, it's like, hey, take this to Life Labs. You just bring your form in and they're like, sweet, we'll give you a blood test right now. Well, we were in there. We had to wait around for a little while. And a dude comes in and you know right off the bat, something's not right. He gets up to the front of the line. Like, I'd like to reiterate, this is a medical clinic. He says, or the lady's like, can I help you? And he's like, yeah, I'd like to speak to who's in charge, please. And then the lady has a very appropriate reaction to this question, which is basically, this is a doctor's office. Oh. Like, who's in charge? I mean, there's not even, like, it's not doctors that work there. It's like registered nurses that, it's like a very egalitarian society in there. Everyone's doing the blood work. Yeah, he's like, can I speak to your manager? No, we don't have a manager. And then they're like, maybe I can help you. What's it about? We go on to talk to you about, like, government secrets or something like that. Like, you're selling our genes to China. And I'm like, what?
Really?
Yeah, and then they were like, the lady was just like, I mean, okay, obviously, like, it's not okay necessarily to make fun of this guy because something's not going right? But,
oh, man.
He was going wild on it, and then they were like, okay, we'll get you, like, can I get you a phone number to head office? This is just, like, a local office. They're like, just get him the fuck out of here. And he's like, sure. And as they were getting the phone number, he, like, walked down to where they were doing the tests, which is a super no-no.
Yeah.
Because there's, like, you know, privacy
lines out of bounds.
Like, you're like, hey, let me see who's getting, like, a blood test right now or something. Oh, there's, you know, Marcus Naslin, former Vancouver Canuck. This is just a hypothetical. I'm just saying there's privacy issues. And, then, as he was getting out, he's like, you know, fucking take our blood, sell our secrets. And I'm like, what is this? Kate said she heard him say fucking democracy a couple times. So, like, it just happens. I was actually pretty sure that we were going to have to call security. And I think everyone that was
like a misguided pharma rep or something that didn't know where the hell he was supposed to be.
No, he was misguided, yes.
Yeah.
Pharma rep, I would be surprised. Based on his backpack full of cans.
Right.
But, I mean, they should have called security, but it was, like, very impolite. The man just wanted answers. I don't know. What's
the question again?
Yeah, okay. The question is, when you go to the deli counter at the grocery store, all right, how many meats is it acceptable to get?
Well, usually, I would say you get like a half a pound max.
Okay.
Maybe
Austin
if you're
gets
if
6
you're like
pounds.
stacking up for the winter, you can go for a pound.
Right. Wait, do you actually order in pounds instead of grams?
You can.
Yeah.
You be like, give me a half pound of turkey?
That's exactly what I say.
You just
can do that
blew
in
my
Canada too, Ryan.
mind.
And I also regularly get a full pound of turkey even when I'm not stocking up.
Well, what's a full pound? It's like 400 grams, right?
I don't
Nobody
know.
knows.
I don't know.
Nobody
It's like
knows.
a gram.
My standard grammage is like 300s or 300.
Like graham crackers.
There's like 5 sandwiches in a pound, roughly.
I use a very simple rule of thumb. Is for like normal lunch meat cuts, you put 3 slices on each sandwich.
I load them up. I stack it tall.
I just say like 100 grams. That's good for a decent sandwich. Is my general.
You weigh out your sandwiches?
No, I'm just saying, like, because I order by 100 grams usually, right?
Okay.
I'll be like,
You don't have to
"Give
order by
me-"
100 grams. You could tell them, like if you wanted to be an asshole, you could be like, give me 217 grams.
No, I know, but
They
I'm
won't
not an
give you
asshole,
that.
so.
Do you ever
I
have it?
don't
You'll
know
be
what
like,
any of this means.
well, you'll be like, give me. I guess it's different if you order half a pound,
There's
but
2.2
you'll be like, hey,
pounds
give me
in a
give me
kilogram.
300 grams, and then they like weigh it out, and they're at like 297, and they're like, is that okay? Yeah.
They don't even ask. Here,
Oh,
they'll
here
just
they
get
ask.
close and just wrap it up.
What are you gonna
Well,
be like?
sometimes-
Could you give me 1/30th of another slice, please, to make it exact?
Well, sometimes they do ask. So I was like, "Can I get a half pound of that potato salad you got there?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "Is 0.75 pounds okay?" And I'm like, "No,
That's too much.
that's too much. I don't want to pay for that." And he's like, all right, fine." But like, they get aggravated, like he just upset them or like insulted them. Like, you're the one that did it wrong.
It's all this work. You gotta take a tiny scoop out of the top of the container before you weigh it again.
Yeah.
The 7 deadly sins are lust, gluttony, greed, envy, pride, wrath, and sloth. The 8th deadly sin is getting too many meats at the deli counter or daddy.
Fuck you, Ryan.
What's your problem?
You stupid deli meats unwritten
Just
rule
because
of
my
BS.
answer is better than your answer?
I didn't answer this.
Man, chat, I'm playing the part of an ignorant man right now. If you want to talk about Bob's Burgers in my chat, that's not a problem. I was making a joke. It was taken the wrong way. But man, I'll apologize for that if I've offended your love for adult cartoons. I love The Simpsons. I love what I've seen of South Park. It's not shameful for an adult to watch a cartoon. If you're offended by my joke, maybe implicitly you think it is shameful for an adult to watch a cartoon. But as long as you pay your taxes and only get like a one kind of meat at the deli counter, that's the only thing that matters to me.
I thought you got 2.
You can get 2. If you only get 1, you're in the clear. If you get 2, it's a case by case basis.
It's 2 and a side is the worst case scenario.
2 and a side, you're coming with me.
No,
If
2
you
and a
get-
side was admissible.
If you, no, absolutely not.
You said it was admissible.
It's maybe
I
at
can
certain-
find footage of this.
at non-rush hours, perhaps. But here's what I'm thinking: you should get your 2 meats, then go to the back of the line if your side's so important to you.
You said it was admissible before.
I think being at the front of the deli line entitles you to 1 or 2 orders. And if you want more than that, that's not a problem. It's not like you can only get 1 or 2, but you can only get 1 or 2 at that point in the line. Then you have to go to the back.
Are you going to sort it by types of sides? Because it certainly takes a lot less time to get a crab cake or an egg roll out of the counter than it does to get like a thing of macaroni salad and weigh it.
I think that's fair. If you get like a pasta solid, if you get a pasta solid, all you gotta do is they put the ladle in the thing, they put it in like the styrofoam container and give it to you. That's fine. If you're getting like 4 spring rolls, sure. I think that counts as that's like a third of a side, so you're still good. You can maybe get another one. What if there's only one person in line, you overheard them, and they're gonna order 8 things? Then you do you. You go over top of them. That's absolutely true.
How do you do that? How do you go over the top in that scenario?
Well, if you get to the front of the line, you got 3 things, they got 8, you just keep going.
They're behind you and they're gonna order 8 things.
Yeah,
Why do
they're
you
talking
give a
on the
shit?
phone, like, oh, she wants scout. That's a good point. But what I was trying to get at is if you're trying to be super polite and you're like, I'll just get 2 things, then you go ahead of me.
and then he orders 8 things, you're gonna be wrong. So if he's on the phone like, yeah, I'll go get some capicola, some chorizo, some Swiss Farmer, then that's when in your head you flip the switch and you say,
You left out a bunch of that stuff that I didn't hear. That you were gonna be polite and let him go in front of you. I didn't know that was the scenario.
well, I think that's a reasonable thing. If I'm at the deli counter and I'm gonna order like 2 things, 3 things, and there's somebody beside me that looks like a simple macaroni loaf, and I'm like, you know what, macaroni loaf, you go ahead.
You know what, lady? You look like a simple macaroni loaf. You can go in front of me.
I'm not saying she looks like a loaf made of macaroni. I'm saying she looks like she's gonna get 300 grams of macaroni loaf.
Yo, Grave Cactus just donated $68.99. Holy shit, dude! Says get 3 kinds of whole grain bread, 5 kinds of meat, 4 kinds of cheese, only mustard, baby spinach, julienne carrots, hot peppers, and toast that bitch. That is a sandwich.
That's true. You don't need to go to the deli counter to get all those. The hot peppers are in a jar in the condiments section. The bread, you can go to the bakery and just.
I don't think that's what he was saying.
Bag, you know. Grams? Is he buying weed at the deli? Yo, in the civilized
Canadian.
world, in the civilized world, we use grams at the deli counter. You say, give me, 350 grams of garlic pastrami. And they go, you want that shaved or sliced? And I said, please, let me ask my wife.
I don't think your wife wants it sliced, I hope.
Yeah, probably shaved. If there's only 2 options, then shaved seems like the right one. It might be the right one if there's many options, but... Alright,
or Brazilian.
You could order kilos of meat, but at that point, people would look at you like...
You gotta call him in.
This guy must run a daycare or something. But, I think you could... If you went up to the deli counter and you were like, I want 6 kilos of rosemary ham, I'd be like, you know what? At least he didn't order 1 kilo of 6 different meats. Like, he's made a compromise at some point in his life. And he must run, like, a high school cafeteria or something.
I'm gonna need someone in chat to, on NLSS Circle Jerk, to make the list of hierarchical needs for when you get shamed at the deli counter. Like, what's the worst, most egregious offense down to the least offensive offense?
It's very simple. The most egregious offense is ordering a large quantity of many different types of meats. Or end sides included. Then, quantity is less of an important criteria than the variety. The more varieties you order, because then instead of just slicing for another 10 seconds, the dude's got to put the first meat back in the right spot, and then you got to point at it. He's like, I didn't want the lemon chicken. I wanted the Mediterranean parsley chicken that's right next to it. Looks exactly the same. Good. And then he's got to, oh, sorry, sir. And then he's like, can you change the slicer so it cuts in 3/4-inch slices? I like it thick, big boy.
Ooh, that's a really cute fox emote. Oh, that's one of Mouse.
Don't feed his ego. That's a guy. He'll order 4 different kinds of deli meat at the counter. You know what the biggest offense actually is? A huge variety and extremely little quantity. If you went up there and asked for 1 kilogram of every meat, I'd be like, okay, he's running a festival. If you went up there and asked for 1 slice of every single meat.
Nobody gets 1 slice.
Yo, but is that the line? If the person in front of you at the line did that, would you be like... I still wouldn't say anything. I'd just be like, this guy's being a shithead. But wouldn't everybody be like that?
I'm struggling.
I knew there was a breaking point.
I'm struggling to see the point of why they would ever do that.
I knew at some point we'd cross the Costanza threshold.
If the Costanza threshold involves creating a theoretical that isn't possible in reality, I don't know that it counts.
It's possible in reality.
It's extremely unlikely. And at that point, they'd be so far up their own ass that they wouldn't even realize that there's other people around if they're doing this bizarre shit.
This one dude says, they do get 1 slice. I had to open up a new roast beef to get somebody 1 slice.
Really?
Okay, you got me this time, NL. Fuck 1 slice guy. That's all what I asked. That's all I've ever asked, to be honest with you. Is there a point at which my argument would be reasonable? And then we have different calibration points for that. That's all I'm saying.
I guess if we're saying this is possible, I'm not super into 1 slice guy either.
I love the people in Ryan's chat are just like, Josh, it's me, your dad. But they're in your chat.
Yeah.
Josh, it's me.
Maybe they like me better than they like you.
That sounds like my father, actually.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It's because we do things no father and son can. Or should, at least.
Like build a birdhouse together?
Exactly. Like build a birdhouse together.
That's sexual innuendo.
Build
for
a
sex.
birdhouse workshop. More
That
for the
guy
people
was
in the
actually
birds.
my dad. He said, "Hey, jackass, Pop Smith is my new name."
What?
That's actually my dad.
That's so good.
It's
Hey,
really
Josh's
good.
dad.
Your dad is backseating you and Isaac now.
He is.
It's a new level.
Are you gonna record the sit-down conversation?
That's horrifying. Get out of here, Dad.
I think it's pretty cool.
I'm still like only 30% convinced. Maybe he's just playing along with the joke.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like something he would do. He likes text me during Isaac.
Specifically that game.
Like usually, like him and like my mom, they'll turn it on for a bit and then realize I have a terrible language, and then they'll turn it off.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Where do they stand on the Deli issue?
Which one?
Come on.
It's like 100, man.
Yeah, like are you talking about like ham versus?
No, I'm talking about how many things can you order at the deli counter
Ham
before it's
versus
impolite.
game.
I don't know. We can we can ask him right now. Go ahead, pose a question to him.
Nah, that's all right. I don't want to impose. I don't want him to take my job, basically.
That's the question. So it's like, how many deli meats are allowed for someone ahead of you in line to get before you judge them?
There's a lot of granulation that we've covered as well. That's being oversimplified here. I just want to throw that out there.
When the 10% rule comes up, it's all a mess.
As we said, if they get 100 different kinds of meat and each one of them they just get a slice, I'd be pretty pissed.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad Josh is with me on that one.
That's the line for us, yeah.
I mean, who's getting 100 different slices of meat?
I don't know. Some dude who's an asshole, probably.
Somebody making up a deli platter, I guess, like an a la carte deli platter.
Give me one slice of.
Except there's only one. It's like musical.
Yeah,
chairs.
so it'd be like, hey, I had the macaroni loaf. Sorry, it was really good. You should try it. You can go to Safeway and pick up some yourself.
You should try it.
Heath Bar Swag, thank you very much for the subscription.
I don't know if I've ever eaten a Heath bar before.
What is a Heath Bar?
I think it's like, toffee maybe?
Human life in a nutshell here. One person said Heath Bars are the best. One person said Heath Bars are goddamn disgusting. And they're right next to one another in chat. I don't know what to believe at this point.
There was a post on either Circle Jerk or your subreddit.
I saw that
was
actually.
Like, Northern Lion is so right. Northern Lion is completely wrong.
That's
like back to back.
It's the genesis of like all of our discussions on the show, or not the genesis, the consequence. But you know, there was also one that this dude was like, "Hey, I work at Kroger in the deli counter. Ask me anything." And
I like those.
What I really liked was when someone was like, "Proof," and he was like, "Dude, why would I lie about working in the deli counter at Kroger?" And then the guy was like, "You know what? That's proof enough for me."
Yeah, I agree. Same here.
He gave some answers that I consider very reasonable. He's like, you know what? If you come in and ask for like 2 or 3 kinds of meat, no problem. If you come in and ask for 6, I will actually tell you no. Like, we don't have to do that.
Is 5 meats just like kind of an off stare?
I think if you order 5 meats, I mean, if I was working the deli and I could afford to lose my job, I would tell you to fuck off. 5 meats is too much. 4 meats is too much.
3 meats and a cheese.
I think 3 meats and a cheese. I think that's the perfect. You've encapsulated
That's as far as
it.
you're willing to go. Anything more 2 cheeses, you're out.
Create a plausible situation that doesn't involve like someone who owns a daycare. That someone would need 4 meats.
Oh, you're making a party platter.
They sell pre-made party platters. You're gonna make your own party platter?
It's cheaper sometimes to buy it from the deli instead.
Well, I suppose if you're not counting the labor cost and the, the horrible lack of self-worth you're inflicting on the Kroger man behind the deli.
I mean, ultimately, you're just making a party platter. You're probably not considering that, which is not fair to the deli man.
Exactly. You're supposed to be giving people joy, not taking that joy away. A party's supposed to give people joy.
But unfortunately, the deli worker is not invited to the party usually.
Man, they're the reason
Sorry
the party
about
could
that.
even happen in the first place. You don't want to
thank you,
eat
Jenny.
ham every day? You can eat ham every day for a week, and then next week you move on to another lunch meat. It's one of those things that's supposed to make you feel better about Mondays. You're like, oh shit, gotta go back to school tomorrow, but at least I've got, Hungarian salami instead of just, turkey this week. I know, Nick, I'm not speaking to you specifically, because that would be a downgrade in your opinion, but...
I like turkey. You seem to think it's awful. I don't
think it's awful. It's just it wouldn't be my first choice. But I can't come up with a genuine reason for why someone would need more than 3 meats. I can get to 3. You got a husband and a couple of kids. Could be a wife and a couple of kids. Hey, the person buying the lunch meat could be the husband of the husband who's eating the lunch meat. How do you feel about that, you fucking bigots? But they got picky tastes or something like that. The husband is like, I only eat, summer sausage. And the kid's like, I only like bologna. Then you get a little bit of that, and then maybe you get like a little salami for yourself.
Everybody wants a little salami for themselves at the end of the day.
Once you get up to 4 lunch meats, though, it's like, no, sorry. The husband's going to have to eat bologna, or the kid is going to have to eat summer sausage. I'm sorry that's the way it has to be, but that's ridiculous.
What if you live in the Duggar's home?
I think at that point, you go up to the deli counter and you're like, just fuck my shit up. Give me 2 kilos of mock chicken.
Just reroute the delivery truck when it shows up, and come on by. We'll have arms open and waiting to carry in all the products.
Give me 4,000 grams of whatever's cheapest right now. All right, guys, it's macaroni loaf. Aww.
Is that a real thing?
Macaroni loaf, man.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
If I lived in NL's world, I would kill him. Yo, that's a terrifying message, man, because even though my deli counter opinions might be a little fascist, is that worthy of being murdered? If I lived in your world, I would take some kind of trans-dimensional portal to get out of it, because it sounds like people can be murdered for just social slights. That's a world I don't want to live in right there.
Maybe if they jaywalk, then they could also be murdered.
I didn't say that all jaywalkers should be murdered. I said if there's no way to avoid a death that was caused by jaywalkers, the jaywalkers should face the brunt of that punishment.
I think you specifically said that you would hire a robot army of sentient cars to kill everyone who crosses.
Look, if the cars were smart enough to kill all the jaywalkers, they would never let themselves be ruled by a human master. That's all I'm saying. I encourage the chat or you to come up with a valid reason for why you could order more than 3 lunch meats at the deli counter so that I can shoot it down.
Well, so the problem is the way that you classify that question, a valid reason.
Right, yes.
Subjective issue there.
So, like, I know your party platter reason is not necessarily invalid, but if someone orders 4 meats, you should have to disclose your reason for needing this many meats. And if they're like, we're making our own homemade party platter, I'll be like, no, sorry, we got them over there. 3 meats maximum.
That's what delis need, is more bureaucracy. Come on.
NL, 2 meats, 2 cheeses? I'll accept it. I think you could get a valid reason for 2 meats, 2 cheeses, even though the work for the deli man is the same. I'm making deluxe subs? No, fuck you. You're making life harder for everybody behind you in the deli line. It's ridiculous.
Why don't they do a thing at the beginning of the day when the deli opens where they just slice like 20 pounds of every commonly ordered meat?
That would be pretty sweet.
And just basically have them ready to go, so they just stack it in the weight increment that people are asking for, and then hand it out.
The other thing I'm going to say,
so much time off.
Nick, let's role play, okay?
They do it with salads.
I remove my robe and wizard hat, but okay, I'll be the deli man, okay?
Fireball. Okay.
Hey, have you been helped?
No, I need some help.
Okay, what would you like, man?
I would like half a pound of roast beef.
All right. You want that sliced thinly or thickly?
Just slice it.
Yeah, okay. You are allowed to live in my rapture.
Oh, sweet.
You you didn't even know what the question was going to be, and you answered it correctly. If you have them recalibrate the meat slicer to give you the thickness that you desire, you're not welcome in my rapture. Just get it sliced at the normal thickness. It doesn't matter if the slices are thin or thick. Nobody wants to live in your rapture. Yo, if you lived in my rapture, it would cut like 45 seconds off of every single grocery trip. Think about how much over the course of a whole lifetime that would save you.
If you had the ability to choose who gets into your rapture, you could already solve the problem by not letting anyone else in.
Hey, my name's Northern Lion, and this is my rapture. I work here with my... One thing's for sure, after eternity
here... Are you
here,
recording a new an episode of Mathis Sells T-Shirts
You never know what's gonna come through those gates.
That's exactly the delivery he used in T-shirts.
And now what if people need meat sliced for a salad? Nick, Who's getting deli meat sliced and put in their salads? Get a little sliced ham salad or something?
I've heard of chipped ham. Never heard of sliced ham in a salad.
You getting some ham croutons? What world is this? Yo, I only get one meat at the deli counter. I commit to a week's worth of sandwiches of the single type, but, you know, I'm willing to say that maybe I'm abnormal in that sense, and some people are like, oh, I couldn't bear the thought of another ham sandwich 2 days in a row.
You know, a great thing they have is in like a little Tupperware container, you can get a set of 2 different meats in a rather small grouping, so that way if you're not feeling the ham today, you could have some turkey.
I actually, like, if we go to the grocery store too late for the deli counter to be staffed, then I will get one of those. I'll get like a ham, turkey, chicken, turkey, you know, some... The last 2 are pretty similar, they're just on different sides, I guess, but...
Skin garlic chicken.
I'll go for that. I prefer the deli counter because you get more variety, you know? But sometimes I will go for that.
You could actually supplement your deli counter purchase with one of those as well.
Yeah, but then I find, like, you're overpaying for it to be prepackaged. And if I'm overpaying for lunch meat, I don't want it to just be ham.
Yeah, I guess. I was just thinking if you knew someone in your life was sort of like an NL about this whole thing.
Excuse
just,
me?
Like, get out of there.
Don't make me a noun, man.
Just get out of there before it goes wrong. Life's too short.
Sort of an NL about things.
Nick, I don't get you, man.
That's alright.
I still like you a whole lot.
Look, man, it's all good. Today, the weather was beautiful out, and it's not hot. So I can't actually be upset about anything today. It's just a beautiful day.
You could probably, I guarantee.
This line's not long enough.
I'd prefer not to be upset about anything
This guy
today.
in front of me ordered, 5 pieces of meat at the deli counter.
Pardon me? Somebody on the NLSS Circle Jerk subreddit posted something, and they're like, NL, how do you feel about this? I was at Subway, and a dude in front of me just ordered toast. Like, he picked, like, his kind of bread, but was like, can you just toast it for me?
I've never heard of that.
And then that's it. And somebody on the subreddit nailed me 100%. They said, I don't think that NL would be mad about this at all, because it's not inconveniencing anybody else. And that is exactly how I feel about it.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
No, I mean, I'm like, I just want to know how much it costs.
Right, it is pretty fucking weird to just go there and be like, give me a loaf of toasted bread, but...
A loaf of toast.
Maybe they had a story behind it, though, like, somewhere at their office they had a bunch of meat, but they had no bread.
Oh, no. Where would I go to get bread? The bakery? No, you fucking moron!
Yeah, I like the way you said where there, because it said, like, where.
Where would I go to get some bread?
Where would I go to get bread?
This person's getting younger by the moment.
They are.
Where would I go to...
Wait, no,
this is Benjamin Button orders toast at the deli.
Yeah.
See, I'm like way more annoyed with some of the stories in chat that are like, I'd rather have that than some dude dictating like his perfect sandwich order that takes like 20 minutes. Absolutely true. I would rather have everybody in front of me just order toast than one dude be like, okay, start with the mayonnaise, then shredded lettuce, then another layer of mayonnaise on top of that. No, that's too much. Now, can you draw my my star sign with sriracha sauce on there? Like, come on, man.
Back to my how much did the bread cost? How much?
I don't know. That was not included in the pertinent details, unfortunately.
That's the most important of
I
the
assume
details.
that it would cost the lowest cost for a foot-long sandwich. Like, I don't think that they have a special bread price. I bet it was like, we're just gonna put this in like the sub of the day or the veggie category or whatever.
Right. Do you think they charged him like a 6-inch price for like a full loaf? Or?
No way, dude. He's having a foot of bread. I think he charged a foot-long price.
All right.
But it's just bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is
we have another friend.
Like, the sandwiches, they come in like two types of variety, and that's like the half, like the 6 inches and 12 inch. He got 12 inches.
He got 12 inches of sandwich.
Yeah.
If this would make him the worst person on earth if he went there and then argued that the bread was too expensive. But then we have a friend who told us his laborious story from Subway where he's like, I'm never going back to that Subway again. All I wanted was a foot-long sandwich that was half like Italian BMT and half chicken pizziola, and they wanted to charge me the full price of the more expensive sandwich.
Chicken pizziola is so good.
Dude, you have kids. Just fuck off.
Wait, this person has kids? Was it Zach?
No. I'm not going to name names.
but
Do
you
I?
can probably guess.
Oh, okay. Yep. All right. That's hilarious.
Dude, just get a foot-long sandwich of one variety, or pay the premium they want you to pay for your stupid order.
That's awesome.
Make someone else's day worse because you've got like you're trying to order like a la carte 2 sandwiches for the price of 1.9. It was not Dan Giesling. That would
it wasn't Dan. 2 months
Dan
in a row.
would have gotten the sandwich for the price that he wanted. I guarantee you.
Yeah, Dan
He would have sweet talked it.
I like Dan. Just kidding.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, there are people who open businesses in New York all the time, right?
No way.
And they're
What do you call them?
Well, no, but see, the thing is, they open up
Wantrepreneurs.
delis, right?
Yeah.
Now, a deli is like a dime a dozen. There's a million of them all over New York. Why would you name your deli Corner Deli or, 15th Street Deli? Because that's like half the delis in New York are just that. You're spending like $250K on this deli. The best you're gonna come up with is Corner Deli.
What are you gonna call it?
They're trying to ride the name recognition, man. That's a huge chain.
I'm just saying, man. Like, get a little bit more creative if you're gonna, do something. Do something.
Hey,
that.
I know your business has been here for 85 years, but Rob has got something to tell you.
Well, no, but like, there's like the delis that have been around for 85 years have names, and maybe that's conspiracy theory.
Like what?
Katz's Delicatessen, Ben's Best Delicatessen.
Why don't you become a consultant of delicatessens and help them write their names then?
I really should, honestly.
It's free money.
I hate that
If
word.
you're thinking of opening up a deli in New York, just don't name it after the street that it's on. That's boring.
These are the synergistic marketing strategies you can expect from Robert and Robert Enterprises.
Exactly. I'm in the Murph.
What if you called it like Nerlay Deli?
There
My
you go,
God,
perfect.
he's a genius.
It is more dynamic.
And put some leather couches down in the lobby. People
'Cause
love
then you
leather.
You could say like, oh hey, we're going to, like we used to go to this deli called Silverio's Deli,
Yeah.
and we say, hey, we're going to Silverio's.
But it creates it creates an awkward situation, I think. Because what if you went to the deli and the guy was like, hey, I'm the owner. And you're like, you look a lot more like a Bashir than you look like a Silvario. Like, wouldn't you think that it undermined the goodness of the deli?
I mean, I'll tell you what, Silverio definitely looked like Silverio.
There's
I'll
a
tell you
deli
that.
that's been on the
Silverio
line.
coming to you stereo.
Oh, I like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Why risk it?
He had no teeth, and he was really creepy.
You have big muscles?
Slurp Vario.
That's because he has no teeth.
Don't even get me started. At the deli counter, I swear to God.
Oh no.
There was a lot of people. It's a busy day, but they had like 4 people working at the deli counter, which is fair.
So you get an extra?
No. Everybody's still got to respect the rules. Do it in front of me. Give me 200 grams of Tuscan ham. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, 200 grams is not enough to make a week's worth of sandwiches, my dog. What's coming up next? And then she's like, is that it? And then he's like, no, can I get 300 grams of Swiss farmer sausages? And I'm like, oh, surely this man is done with it now. I swear to you, he gets the 300 grams of Swiss farmer sausages. And then he looks me dead in the face. And the lady goes, anything else? And he says, yeah, I'll take another 150 grams of summer sausage, please. And he gives me like the James Franco smirk from Spider-Man 3, where the waitress is like, how's the pie? And he goes, it's so good. And I'm looking at this dude, dead ass in the windows of his soul, like, is this a viewer? Does he know me? Like, is this 50-year-old man an NLSS fan member? And I still don't know to this day. Which is today.
This day.
Ryan, I didn't tell you, but like 4 nights ago, I had a dream that I went to the deli, and I had never gone to the deli before.
Yeah.
And I asked for 3 kinds of meat, and the guy at the counter looked at me like I had just killed his whole family.
How many of us have gotten more than one deli meat at a deli counter before?
Me.
I've definitely gotten
me too.
2 at a time before.
Yeah.
No, what if you get like 2 meats and a cheese?
I still think that's acceptable, but it's context-based. Like, how's the lineup?
All right. Fair.
Since we're on sandwiches, somebody keeps tweeting me this picture of a bagel split sideways with like peanut butter and jelly on it.
Oh yeah.
Who cares about that?
I don't care about that for some reason.
They're just inciting argument. They don't have anything valuable to offer to the situation.
Like, that's stupid.
Fuck
Why
that
are you
guy.
cutting it vertically
Honestly.
like that?
Well, I think it raises
what's
a
the
question.
point?
Like, if you ate it like that, would it be a sandwich? I think it is a sandwich. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
made
a
with
sandwich.
extremely impractical bread.
Oh, you're playing into his hand now, man.
Yeah, you just played right into him.
That's fine.
Yeah,
by me.
you
Because I don't think it's a
It's a
sandwich.
waste of time and a bagel.
It's
Yeah.
not a sandwich.
It is a
What?
sandwich.
Doesn't matter how you cut it. It's just silly to cut it one way.
It is. It's a very silly way to cut that.
It's
Without it.
designed to be cut the other way.
Yeah.
Clearly. I mean, come on now.
It's designed to be cut the other way.
It's designed to be cut the other way.
But you shouldn't be putting jelly and peanut butter on a bagel and then eating it as if it's a sandwich anyway. The only ingredients that go between a sandwich in a bagel form are Italian cured deli meats and maybe like a smoked salmon cream cheese.
What the fuck are you talking about? I eat a turkey club on a bagel all the time.
No, it's not
Yeah,
acceptable.
you can eat a lot of things on a bagel.
Yeah, you're being-
Come to
you're-
New York.
No, it's not acceptable.
You're not
And it's very
acceptable.
acceptable.
You're
you know
drawing
what?
a line in the sand that you don't want to stick by, man.
You're offending all New Yorkers, honestly.
If
by
you just
saying
had
that.
like deli ham, you put that on a bagel, not okay. Just use
I've
bread.
done that.
No, it's too
Well,
much.
we didn't get deli ham because you were behind us at the deli counter saying, "Oh, move the fuck on."
I got tweeted by somebody who said, NL, I usually get 8 meats at the deli. And at
That's
that point,
insane.
I just have to say, stop.
I don't even know if I can
do
list
okay
8
on
meats.
this drawing? I think I did.
Realistically, like, what kind of sandwiches are you making? Like, are you?
That was a
are
good
you-
drawing,
You
Nick.
got like 8 different people
No.
who all have highly specific meat allergies?
Hey,
Yeah,
what
like,
if it's... No, you're going there that you want to make up a charcuterie board.
You
for
don't
all
go
your pals.
to like No Frills and get a charcuterie plate.
Why not? They got great deals on meats.
They got, I swear, like the last time I was at the grocery store, the lady got 200 grams of ham. And I was like, you know what? She's got a good head on her shoulders. Right after that, 200 grams honey ham. Are you fucking kidding me?
All right,
you
that's-
need a ham and honey ham? Just get one
That's-
ham.
Yeah.
They got a picky ham family.
You guys like
too
Black
much.
Forest ham?
Hell yeah, it's German. So I went to the grocery store today, and as always, I went to the deli. This is not a new surprise. I wanted to get a pound of chicken salad because that's like my way.
So
I get,
much chicken salad.
I eat a lot of chicken salad. So
A
super.
pound?
Yeah. It's like 4 sandwiches worth.
Oh, I guess that's only like 400 grams.
All right, so I went to go do that is the point, and there was a lady that was in front, and she was the only person. It was like the middle of the afternoon. There's basically nobody there except for this lady in her shopping cart.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, no big deal. I'll just circle back. I gotta go get some like salsa or something.
Wait,
Anyway,
so
I'll
you
just look
didn't
over there.
wait at the line? You just...
Well, I saw there was only one person working, and I was like,
Oh,
all right, this is
okay,
gonna
okay.
take a minute. So I just said I'll go get something else. I'll come back in a minute. Come back in a few minutes. She's still there.
Okay.
The other person is still serving her, and there is now a second employee also serving her.
Okay. Wow, this
And
sounds like she's
she's-
got a big order.
She's got many things on the go. At least 3 different meats. She's getting samples out the ass.
Ah, it's not acceptable.
The lady's running down all of the bins in the front of like different salads and stuff and asking her, are you having this one? Or are you having this one? And she was just pointing at stuff and she was, oh yeah, I'll have a half a pound of that. Just basically picking things arbitrarily and getting them. And then the one that got me the most, because this wasn't even the cap yet, the biggest deal was, she said, what's up with that uncured ham?
Okay.
I believe her specific words were, what the heck is uncured ham?
Sure. I mean, that's a question I've asked myself.
And the lady at the deli said, "Oh, I don't know. Here's the piece. You can just read up on it."
They have like literature.
She just handed her the ham.
Oh,
in the wrapping. And then she started looking at it, and she said, "No, I don't want to read it. Just I'll take a half a pound."
Wow.
She went from "I don't know what this is" to "I want a half a pound."
Yeah, that's too much. Maybe she works at a sandwich shop and she doesn't care about her customers. Someone in chat said, like, what's the acceptable amount of free samples to get at the deli? I feel like if you're, like, over the age of 20, you shouldn't be able to get any free samples at the deli. Because you should know
she was
what...
over 20 by a lot.
You should know what these meats taste like by now.
She's like, "Oh, that's roast beef. Yep. Okay, I know what that is." here's some ham. I'll have that too. That was just making me really upset.
Dude,
and I had to tell somebody.
I'd be upset as well.
I don't know how her story ended because I got out of there eventually, but I know she had a lot of meat coming down the line.
You get one if you want to try something new. What is new at the deli counter? There's been no deli innovations in like the last 90 years.
Maybe it's a new like make.
It's a new make of what?
Or like a new company.
Right, yeah.
Butcher,
a new crop. Ooh, can I get the grass-fed organic jalapeno chicken breast? Can I get a sample of that?
That sounds good.
Grass-fed beef, baby.
So Ryan, you had some trouble at the drive-thru at the fast food.
It wasn't at a drive-thru, okay? So I went to McDonald's today because they have all-day breakfast, and I had to run an errand downtown earlier. So there's some setup for this story that betrays the fact that it's an incredibly simple premise. But basically, Kate has a Japanese lesson that she leaves for at 12:30, and I was like, I gotta run an errand. I'll get us some breakfast on my way back. So I was like 12:15, and I was like, shit, I don't have time for anything but like McDonald's breakfast. And I'm in there. It's busy because it's lunchtime, which is AKA YouTuber breakfast time. And I'm going to use the kiosk, but there's a line. That's no problem. I understand. That's why you got like 8 kiosks. It makes the line move faster. The dude in front of me, by himself, puts in the most complicated custom burger order I have ever seen in my life. Literally, you're like, okay, single dude in his like mid-30s. He's like the perfect person to be behind in any line. He knows what he wants. He's got shit to do. He's gonna get it done quick, right? This isn't like a family of 8 or something like that. That's like, you know, the kids are like, I hate standing. This is gonna.
How complicated can a burger order even be? I guess I need to know.
Well, the answer is not complicated at all, unless you want it to be, which apparently he did. So he's like, okay, let me go into the customize for this like burger order. So he goes into the customize option. And he goes, I'm narrating his inner monologue right now based on the selections he made over the course of the next 180 seconds. Why would I get regular mustard when I could pay 5 cents extra and get grainy mustard? Whoa, I don't really want mayonnaise, but here's an option for mayonnaise-based sauce. That seems interesting. Minus mayonnaise plus mayonnaise-based sauce. And then he's like, whoa, 1 tomato? No, I'm trying to like make sure I give servings of fruit and vegetables. 2 tomatoes. But what irritated me the most is that this motherfucker didn't have like an order in his mind. Like if I had talked to you about this and you're like, oh, I got a custom order. It's, you know, diced onions instead of no onions, and then shredded lettuce instead of regular lettuce, and 2 tomatoes. Then I'd be like, yeah, dude, that's fine. You got it. This guy was figuring out what kind of person he wanted to be live at the McDonald's. And his order actually, like, you know when you, maybe you guys haven't used the kiosk yet, because apparently they're not deployed all over the U.S.
I used it once when I was in Ireland, actually.
Okay. But they, like, normally when you get something, it's like, hey, if you don't customize it, like, here's the price. This guy's single menu item order had a receipt that was like at least 12 inches long, just due to like, you know, minus this plus this, but no, double the tomatoes. Okay, double tomatoes is so meaningless on a burger. I can't even.
You could order that.
I don't even know why you would want to. But anyway, this guy basically made me lose faith in the future just a little bit, not a ton, but just a little bit, where I was like, we really actually are missing the human component of having a staff member who would just look at this guy while he reads off the order and be like, sir, I'm not going to do that because that's stupid and you are wasting everybody's time. But instead, the machine is just like, yep, okay, execute double tomato protocol.
So if the machine could have had, like, angry staring eyes, maybe it could have taken up the human mantle?
Just passive-aggressive, yeah. It's this, all my stories have the same theme. It's the same thing as the deli counter. You gotta know your audience, right? Read the room. It's a busy-ass McDonald's, and this guy's like, do I want 1 tomato slice or 2? You actually just cost the economy of Vancouver, like, 2 hours of time by taking another 2 minutes while 120 people waited for you. Like, you're killing the economy with this double tomato order, my dude.
Well, what's your limit on like absurdity for orders? Because Dan got mad at me the other day. Well, we were playing H1Z1.
What did you do?
And, well, he
was the Subway order?
No. I'd ordered a burger and we were playing H1Z1.
Oh, okay, all right.
You're not one of those guys that's like, "Whoa, can I get no tomatoes, no onions on my burger?"
You're doing
please?
Dan doing Ryan voice?
Yes, that was my Dan doing Ryan.
I just want you to know that Dan asked you that question because he probably thought inside that you were one of those guys.
Well, I told him, I was like, yeah, no, I ordered this burger with no tomatoes and no onions. And he was like, why you gotta do that, man? Because I don't like tomatoes and onions. Is that too much to ask?
Well, you ordered it, like, online, right?
Yeah, I ordered it on Grubhub.
I consider that completely acceptable.
That's,
You're
I mean, but
only-
if I go to a
Anybody's
drive-thru,
time
I'm
there.
gonna tell them no tomatoes and no onions. No
See,
burger.
that I feel like at that point, the only optimization that I would say is just get it plain, but you want the lettuce.
Well, every burger is different. Some come with cheese, some have
Okay,
the
I
lettuce.
see.
So I just go like, I don't like these 3 vegetables. Give it without these 3 vegetables.
So if you, like, actually don't like it, that's completely fine. It's just when people try to hit the optimal order for no discernible benefit to humankind that annoys the shit out of me. That's like the dude who's like, yeah, I'd really like this burger with double tomatoes at the expense of everybody else around me. That's when I'm like, that's like, come on. And then losing the mustard to put on grainy mustard, I was sort of like, now you're just doing it because it's novel. And then I felt bad because I was...
Mustard or Dijon mustard?
It said grainy mustard, so I'm assuming they've got like probably an old jar of whole grain mustard in the back of the McDonald's that they use like once every 10 years when this guy comes to town.
Man, that's so weird. Do you know what kind of burger it was to start before you started mixing it up?
The dude, he clearly thought highly of himself, because this wasn't like a quarter pounder with cheese. This was like a classic Angus. The other thing is, they give you the option, and it's like, do you want it on a normal bun or an artisan bun? And I have never seen someone click a button that says artisan bun that fast in my entire life. He was like, oh shit.
He did pixels where he tapped the screen, he hit it so hard.
I've been waiting for this moment for my whole life. Artisan bun. Anyway,
that sounds fancy, but our McDonald's are still just, 2 registers and a lady who gets mad at you if you take longer than 30 seconds.
I forgot there's another story from the same time. Because then there's the dude, I was the third in line. So there was the dude at the front, and then there was a dude between me and the kiosk that was waiting. That's a very awkward way to explain it. But he got fed up of waiting for the Angus man. So he, like, found another open console and then, like, ordered 2 ice cream cones. And then he just, like, went to take a shit or something. Because when I was waiting for the order to come out, literally, like, 5 seconds after my order had been submitted into the order system and I was waiting, this lady came out with 2 ice cream cones, and she's like, hey, 2 ice cream cones, 1610. 1610, 2 ice cream cones. There's, like, 40 people looking there, like, she's holding these ice cream cones, and everyone's looking at each other like, well, I mean, I think you would know if you ordered 2 ice cream cones and nothing else, right? And then, like, 5 minutes later, he showed up and was like, oh, there are some ice cream cones here? And she had just been holding them the entire time, like bogging the entire system down. Yeah, so, I mean, that McDonald's is kind of a shit show to begin with, but... That's strange. This doesn't sound like a grocery store anecdote. I mean...
Got anything?
I'm trying to think. I went to the grocery store. I have a positive grocery store anecdote. How's about that?
Something.
It rarely happens. I went up to the deli counter, as is where most of the stories take place, and I said, I'll take 300 grams of oven-roasted turkey. And she said, check this shit out. I sliced up like a kilo of the exact thing you ordered, and then packaged it into 100-gram bags.
What?
So if someone like you comes in, I can just give them 3 bags. Yes, sir, 3 bags full. Is that okay?
Efficiency.
Exactly. She said it like demurely. She's like, is that okay? And I was like, that's fine. That's better than fine. I didn't tell her that, but I was like,
and then you walked away and she was like, ha ha!
Yeah.
Turkey.
The turkey goes bad tomorrow. Hey boss, I got rid of the bad turkey.
I always get this like chicken curry salad from the deli, and sometimes it tastes like it's carbonated, and I think that means it's bad.
Oh my god.
It's got like fizzy bubbles in it.
I don't like
no,
that.
No, it's not officially, but like it kind of tastes like it is bubbling secretly. That makes sense. You ever had a food that felt like it was carbonated?
Yes, actually. As strange as that may sound, I sort of understand where you're coming from.
What does that mean? And how does that happen?
I don't know, but I wish they'd stop.
I haven't died, so like this was a long time ago, but I haven't died.
But have you kept buying it since then? Like
Yeah, it doesn't always taste carbonated. It's like maybe a 70-30. The 30 is the carbonated part.
So it's like
Well, it must taste good enough.
Yeah, it's like it's worth the risk. Like that 70% of the time is worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is.
I mean, more power
Pretty
to
good.
you, honestly. If you have higher T than NL, you should order 4 meats from the deli counter. That's just wrong, though. That's too many meats. Whenever I bring this up, and I know we've been over this discussion infinity times. Whenever I bring this up, people go... The only argument they have for getting as many meats as they want at the grocery store is, well, it's my money, I should be able to do what I want. Yeah, but you're monopolizing the time of the deli counter person. I check people out at the register that have 5 meats and 5 cheeses. That's not okay. 1 meat and cheese? Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Your perspective is from a 2-person household. I agree with that. What about sandwich variety? How many sandwiches are you eating? The meat from the deli goes bad in like, probably like 5 days. Maybe a week. How many different sandwiches are you eating that you need more variety? In 5 days. We're eating like 4 sandwiches a day? Just get over it. What if it's for a party? Nobody's having this many parties. Trust me, I'm looking at these people ordering 4 kinds of deli meat. They don't seem like the party type in my opinion. That's a value judgment. I'm not proud of it. But hey, come over to my party. I got 4 different kinds of ham. Sounds like a good time. Excuse me, sir, how many condoms are you checking out? You shouldn't be having that much sex. No, you don't understand. It's not the same thing. The shelf is the sales associate. Funicular! In that example. I wouldn't mind, if you go to the prepackaged deli meat counter and you grab 20 different kinds of meats, I don't care. It's only because your arbitrary, adherence to the variety cult requires me to stand there and wait for like 10 minutes while you're like, oh, can I get it? No, don't give me the Tuscany ham. I want the sun-dried ham. Ooh, like, can I try the herb-roasted turkey? It's so much different than the salt and pepper turkey. Like, 2 pork, 2 beef, 2 poultry, and a flex slot. You're getting 7 kinds of laundry meat. Just kill me. Every time you go to the deli, how many sandwiches are you eating? That's ridiculous. See? I knew it. There we go. I'll get as much fucking meat as I fucking want. That's what it always comes down to, isn't it? It's my way or the flippin' highway. I have 5 people in my house, dude. You're invisible. I don't respect that. Here's the thing. Maybe you got 5 people. This is a great time to teach your roommates or your children about the lessons of compromise. If you've got 5 people and you're ordering pizzas, how many pizzas do you order? Probably not 5 separate pizzas. You have to come to a compromise that works for you and for the world around you. You order 5 pizzas if you've got 5 people? 4-man house with 2 people working nights. What's your problem? My problem is that why are you buying your roommates groceries for them? That's not a common experience. I've lived in a 7-person house, 6 dudes, 1 lady. Everybody bought their own groceries. It's a necessary part of the adult ecosystem. I'm not saying consolidating car rides to the grocery store is bad at all. What I'm saying is, if you're at the deli counter by yourself, you get 5 different kinds of meats, I'm judging you. If you're 5 people at the deli counter, and you all order 1 thing, or even 2 things each, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm talking about the solo person. Oh, I run, a home for kids who have picky eating habits. Could you please give me, oh no, Jennifer doesn't like the Parma ham. We've got to get her prosciutto instead, even though it's the same freaking thing. Oh, I ordered 12 meats at the deli counter. Do you have a problem with me? Yeah, I do. Oh, I run a foster home for orphan vampires. All of a sudden, you're an asshole for saying that I wasted your time. It's out of control here. The same meat each day for a week is boring as hell. This is why everyone hates our generation, y'all. Dad worked in the freaking coal mines, ate a ham sandwich with Heinz yellow mustard on it every day for 50 years just so you could have, training wheels on your bike, and you're going, oh, but I think ooh, can I get the garlic roast beef today, It's too far. We advanced too fast. Look, I'm not saying it was a good coal mining job.
judo chop.
NL is stuck in a 90s deli world that's forgotten him. Yo, I'm being real with you. If you go to a grocery store and they got, 80 people at the deli counter, then by all means, go for it. It's only, I get annoyed when there's one person at the deli counter and then they go, hey, can I have a sample of everything here? Oh, I'll just take the salami, actually. What are you doing that requires the convenience time lost? Okay, what if the person in front of you at a red light is just texting when the light turns green? It's not like I have to be home. Oh, sorry, there's like an open heart surgery I have to get to. Could you go at the green light? It's just, societal etiquette. It's like, whoa, oh, if you're not doing anything important, then it doesn't matter if other people are wasting your time. It still matters, man. It still matters. These beers exist to be chugged. NL, please call out Invicta. I'll call out Invicta for... When I told him I ate a vegetarian poutine, he asked me what it was like to grow a vagina. Like it's the 1930s or something. I do believe there should be like a party exception. If you've got, you're throwing a party. First off, I don't know what kind of party you're throwing. You're just buy a party tray. It's not like you're doing anything artisan by buying the meats at the deli. You're just arranging the meats and cheeses on a platter yourself. But anyway, if you're like, I run a daycare. You know what? By all means, my dude. You run a daycare? Go there and buy like a lot of 4 kinds of meats. That's cool with me. If you got, 2 kids, one of them is allergic to freaking, ham, and the other one's allergic to turkey, sure, I understand. But you guys are presenting it as if, you must, be 100 years old if you can go 1 week eating the same kind of sandwich without losing your mind. Even the man who works at the grocery store is agreeing with me, and everyone's going, NL, you're wrong. Sorry, I use my hard-earned money to pay for more than... Sorry, that's my bad. What did I tell you? It starts with the arguments about me being wrong, and then it becomes, well, it's my money, and I'll do what I want to. Every time, man. 4 meats is absurd, 2 meats and 2 cheeses is completely okay. That's the thing, it's all about the use case. Here's the thing. Okay, what if I got... Because everyone's like, it's very sensible. This is a sensible amount of meat. Whatever I eat is sensible.
That's done it.
But what if I went to the deli counter and I'm like, hey, 5 meats is okay. Can you give me 1 ounce of 5 different meats, please? People would go, this guy's out of control. They'd go, this guy is a crazy person. It's all about the use case, man. No, I'll pay for it. It's my money. Can I get 1/8 of an ounce? Can I get 1 slice of Tuscany ham, 1 slice of rosemary ham, 1 slice of honey ham, 1 slice of maple syrup ham? Give me 2 slices of Black Forest. I really like that one. What do you mean they don't let you get an ounce? It's my money. Oh, the grocery store has a minimum. Let's not be ridiculous. Excuse me, can I get 20 deli meats at the store minimum for each? 20's too many, Northern Lion. That's a logical extreme. 8 is the optimal number. Yeah, exactly. Give me 100 grams of everything. Oh, don't be ridiculous, Northern Lion. Now you're just being obtuse. You can't get 1 of everything. You can only get 1 of each animal. It's written in the annals of societal etiquette. Can I have 1 ham, 1 chicken, 1 turkey, and 1 pork, please? No problem. Oh, can I get 2 chickens? Somebody stop this man. He's out of control. Why does anyone care about how much meat another man or single woman would like? It's because I'm in line behind them.
At least parts of them.
What if there's no line? If there's no line, you should do whatever you want. For real. If there's a line, this is what separates us from the animals. If there's no line, if you want to order 100 meats, that's between you and the person at the deli counter, as far as I'm concerned. NL's time is worth enough to bitch about it while he's live streaming, though. Well, it's not like I'll be talking about anything else right now. Plus, you love it. I know how it works. People using their Twitch primes on this deli conversation. Do we? Pretty much, we do. Do we? I do? I do. Do we? We do. Okay. The argument that you're making that, like, what are you doing with your time that's so important is so ridiculous. Because you're the same chat, and I get you're made up of the diverse group of people, but you're like, oh, I just make all of my meals on paper plates, so I don't have to do dishes. That saves me 10 minutes a week. I used to have, like, one extra good jerk-off session. And then you're lecturing me like, oh, I'm not allowed to waste your time? What are you doing, Mr. Efficiency? I didn't realize you were an important person who has a good excuse to not have his time be wasted for no reason by somebody who wants 80 different kinds of ham. Because one kind of ham is not good enough. None of us agree on paper plates. Alright, so you're a little innocent then. The sad thing is Rob isn't on his own. Austin's in his camp, which just annoys me. Because Austin has a chance to be the best amongst us. He could throw off the shackles of bachelordom and become a full-fledged adult. Rob's trying to drag him down to his level. Austin does get takeout once per day. I mean, those amongst us who have lived a normal life know that that is ridiculous, but, you know, he's got to live his own life, I suppose. Takeout every day is okay, but promoting the variety wanted for meal prepping isn't? Well, the takeout, like, Austin isn't inconveniencing anybody. You know, he's ordering takeout from a takeout service, and he's getting takeout. It's not like anybody else is like, I have to wait 40 minutes for my takeout because Austin ordered a ridiculous amount of takeout. Probably. It's not principled then, it's just whether or not you're inconvenienced. Yeah, exactly! If somebody is on the sidewalk, you know, walking with their friends and taking up the entire sidewalk, walking as slow as freaking molasses. But, oh, why can't people walk at their own pace? Why do you have to be such a walking fascist? If they're blocking the way for other people, it's annoying! Volume of takeout influences the restaurant's ability to provide takeout for more people. Look, this is madness at this point. Okay, so the logical extreme from there is, oh, you should never order from a restaurant because then they won't be able to provide food to the next person. You're getting dangerously close to a caricature of a Nick argument at this point. I don't think the restaurant's gonna be mad. They're like, oh, somebody ordered food from the restaurant I own. The deli man at the grocery store might reasonably be annoyed. And all the people are behind it. You can take multiple orders takeout style at a restaurant because we live in the freaking internet era, man. Yeah, exactly. Everybody gets their own restaurant now. Don't order from my restaurant. This is my restaurant. Kate, who usually gets the deli stuff? You or NL? I usually get the deli stuff. You're just impatient. You don't understand. I'm in line at the grocery store. I want ham. I'm gonna get 300 grams of one kind of ham. Person in front of me gets 5 different meats. It takes, you know, 6 minutes to do it. That's fine. I'm not saying that person should be taken out and murdered. I'm just saying it's annoying. And then you're like, well, by being annoyed, you're being very selfish, actually. Nah, dude. Minor annoyances. It's like, what else do I have to complain about in my life? I'm a spoiled human being. I can complain about mild inconveniences. The one that tilts me to the extreme, though, and I don't want Deli Man to, like, die of blood pressure poisoning, but is when, you know, you go, hey, can I get you anything? And they go, yeah, I'll take 150 grams of ham. And then they give it to them, and they go, thank you. And can I get 150 grams of turkey as well? And you're okay. And you're the other customer, and you're like, should I just go to the bakery section or something like that instead? Are you still going to be here when I get back? I don't really want to lose my spot in line. And can I get 75 grams of salami? And can I get 3 wafer-thin slices of a Genoa Hungarian salami? What if you call in the order ahead of time? You're a god. You're an awesome person if you do that. How dare you purchase a product? That's not what I'm saying, you... Who's the logical extremist here? Probably me still. Oh my god. If I went to an ice cream parlor, they got 1 server there, and then I ask for, you know, 5 free samples, and then I get 10 cones. Is that reasonable? Is it reasonable if you're the person behind them? We gotta have rules in a society, that's all I'm saying. See, chat's like divided, and that's fair, because the next game in the Deus Ex series is Mankind's Divided. Which I would agree with. You can be annoyed, but it's no one else's duty to give a shit. I agree with that. I'm not asking you to give a shit. Trust me. I wouldn't mess with a dude buying 10 ice cream cones. He must be a huge dude. Yeah, he's got like Goro hands from Mortal Kombat. Literally, I do not care about what anyone else is ordering. I'm being real with you. I'm envious of that. Because, like, I want to get out of the ice cream parlor as soon as possible. I didn't sign up for a 20-minute trip to get ice cream. I thought it was going to be, 45 seconds. I was behind somebody in Subway who was ordering sandwiches for their whole office. Did you put up a fuss as you sat in that Subway getting sandwich slandered for 45 minutes? No, because you're a perfect person. Those people are hungry. Maybe he's buying a room full of sandwiches for some hungry orphans or something like that. I just enjoyed the ambiance provided by Doctor's Associates. What a lovely experience to be in the Subway in the middle of this freaking food court. Isn't life beautiful? I just want to get one sandwich and get out of here, okay? Just take a look at the pictures on the wall. They've got beautiful artwork like pictures of a sliced up red pepper, despite the fact that they don't even have red peppers as a sandwich topping at the Subway. Oh, that guy cut me off in traffic and almost wrecked my car, but oh, maybe he's driving home to donate all of his money to needy people. This so much holier than thou nonsense. I see you, this guy, I make a mistake in a video game and they go, oh, how this idiot, how does he even like feed himself on a daily basis? But then somebody pulls out a gun and shoots somebody in the middle of the street and they go, you don't know, he might have had a hard day. You can't judge him. Who are we to judge? Just go mellow out in your favorite happy place, the Doctor's Associates corporate. Freaking okay. You're right, I'm tilted beyond belief. Kate, after this, we should go to the I'm gonna go to the grocery store. I'm gonna order 10 different kinds of meats. I'm not gonna tell anybody about it. And then I'm gonna buy takeout from every restaurant in the city. And I'm gonna say, make sure you follow the speed limit as you deliver it. Yeah, maybe I'll get some paper plates while I'm at it. NL, I will concede that you have a point overall. That's all I asked for. I'm gonna spend all your Twitch Prime money on Nickelback MP3s. How do you feel about that? All I care about is that the guy in chat, whose name is Deli Man, says, NL, you're 100% right. I'm a friend to the retail worker, okay? I'm thinking about the guy slicing up that ham at the grocery store, $8.35 an hour, just looking at the clock. He took the midnight train going anywhere, you know? Born and raised in South Detroit, even if my attitude is maladroit. That's my man right there. Deli Man might not even work at a deli. I'm gonna choose to believe that he does. Yeah, poor guy. He applied for a job and got it. See, Deli Man? They'll turn on you in an instant. If you're true to the cause, you need to mod me so I can ban dissenters. That sounds like business suicide. I'm not gonna do that, but you know, I appreciate you nonetheless. Let's not go crazy though. Alright, NL, I'll concede. But what about teas? Say I want Genmatcha, Sencha, Jasmine, and Chai. Is that okay? You know, I will admit, you've raised a point I hadn't considered. My opinion is if you go to a specialty store, you know, you expect less staff, you expect a little bit more of a wait. If I'm going to, you know, the Great Canadian Superstore or something like that, I expect to be in and out there pretty fast, you know? Shop at a place called Save on Foods. If the food's expensive, I'd stop going there. But you know, if you're at a tea store and you're getting infinity kinds of tea, I think that's relatively more acceptable. But I can't really articulate why. This is the greatest and worst community on God's green earth. I would agree with that. Chad, I know it's weird, but what if you order a bunch of meats, but you're not super slow and obtuse about it, get it done fast, and don't mess about, just order it. See, that's a good start. I'm okay with that. I guess that's true, you know, there is the value proposition around a specialty store is less about convenience and more about, you know, getting exactly what you order. So, like getting exactly what you want, I should say. So maybe that's the draw, or the reason that it feels like it's okay in a tea store. Why you're not allowed back at Jurassic Park. You're dead, or ordering too many meats at the dinosaur deli.
Good answer, Bear. I like that one.
Oh, I lost though.
Got all the answers from us, or all the votes from us, but the audience rebuked it.
If they genetically like if they brought back dinosaurs but just their meat, would you guys have like a T-Rex steak?
Well, you're always concerned about meat. It's always meat with you, Robert.
I like meat.
When I hear that old song they used to play. I have a deli story, by the way. It's a small one, and I want to preface this by saying it's your time and everybody else's time. But you can literally do whatever you want to do at the deli counter. I'm not going to stop you. We were at the grocery store today. I'm not going to say which one, but there's a common joke about it being so expensive that you can riff on the name of the grocery store and call it blank paycheck instead. Deli counter there leaves a little something to be desired. I prefer a little mom and pop delicatessen sort of thing, you know, where they got a couple of freshly made, you know, in-house meats, but either way, you know, I'm not going to 2 grocery stores. I'd rather just overpay at the one grocery store for a little bit of deli meat, get home and play an extra game of Battlegrounds. I digress. Crowded, very busy. I don't know if it was built when they expected Vancouver to only have, like, you know, 25 people living in the whole city, but it's tight in there. So we're about to go up to the deli counter, and this, you know, middle-aged woman pushes in front of us. She borderline muscles in front of us to the point where, like, we're ahead of her, but she's, like, sidling in. You know, she's trying to, like, angle her shoulders so she has a little bit of leverage. So we're like, we're fine. Okay, we did the hand wave, so you go ahead. She goes up to the front, and they go, oh, excuse me, can I help you, ma'am? And she says, which kind of salami would you recommend? And I just looked at my wife, and she looked at me, and she was like, don't do it. And I didn't do it, because I'm a pussy. But, in my head, I was like, you muscle in front of us? You're in such a hurry? Then you go up and go, which kind of salami would you recommend? Like, you don't even know what you want yet? And then, you know, poor lady who worked there was just like, I don't know. What do you think when I got this job at the deli, they were like, hey, sample all the salami so you can give recommendations to people? Anyway, they talked it over for like 45 seconds, and then the lady was like, or the worker was like, do you want a sample? Not that she's not a lady as well, but, you know, she's a worker in the context of this. Because I'm a capitalist. But anyway, I mean, I'm shopping at Whole Foods. Of course I'm a capitalist. Okay, the point is, she goes, do you want samples? So the lady puts a big old slab of salami up there, slices one slice, cleans it off, puts up the other slab of salami, slices one slice, gives her 2 slices. I kid you not, she ate those 2 slices of salami and then went, I'll just take the honey ham. I thought I was gonna lose my freaking mind. Here's me at the deli counter when I go up. Hey, sir, can I help you? Yeah, can I get 300 grams of the roast beef there? And they go, yeah, sure. And then no matter what question they ask me, I'm pro-worker. Sometimes they go, you want that sliced thinly or thickly? I'm like, whatever setting the machine is already on works for me. And they give me a little look, and they're like, this guy's on the level. And I'm like, I'm on the level. I'm not saying you should be out of your rights to ask for a sample at the deli counter. But I think once you get a sample of something, I'm not saying you have to buy it, but come on. Like, sometimes we go to, there's all these, like, craft breweries in the rough vicinity of our area in Vancouver. And sometimes we'll go there and they'll have something new. And we'll be like, hey, can we get a sample of that? They give you a sample of it. As far as I'm concerned, I've purchased the good at that point. I've done it before, but I feel a sense of guilt if I take a sample of something and then get something completely unrelated. Like, can I get a sample of the Hungarian blood sausage? And then they give you that and you're like, I'll just take the honey ham. Actually, I'll take whatever's cheapest now. Hey, can I get a slice of each of your kind of prosciuttos as a sample? Yes, I'll take the macaroni loaf, actually. I feel like there's an unspoken contract that, you know, if you get a sample of something, that means you have an intention to not purchase it, but possibly consider purchase. You're in the market. It's like going into, like, a Mercedes dealership when you got a Honda budget. And you're like, can I just take a test drive of that, you know, E-Class Mercedes? I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Certainly Daimler Chrysler's making enough money that, I think anyway, you know, that they're not going to be hurting as a result of your test drive. But you're violating the social contract of that dealership. In my opinion, at least. Not to mention, and you know, I get blasted for being pro-corporate all the time. But there are human beings that work at that dealership. You're wasting their time. You know, they work on commission. You're taking away time that they could be spending talking to a paying customer and feeding their family. You know, they might not be driving a Daimler Chrysler Mercedes E-Class, C-Class. I don't know any Mercedes. Well, I don't know the names of any Mercedes. I just know the sound they make when they cut in front of me in traffic without using the freaking signal lights. But I digress. That was my Deli story. I don't have any other stories. Well, there was a kid. There was like a 1-year-old at the Whole Foods. There's a bunch of popcorn on the ground, and he just started eating it. And like, I wasn't gonna stop him. His mom was on her cell phone, which I don't mean like, I didn't say that with a tone like his mom was on her cell phone. You know, maybe she's got a message from her dad who's in the hospital or something. You know, I'll accept it. But I was not gonna be like, hey, lady, your kid's eating popcorn off the ground. I just sort of looked at him, and then when his mom saw, she was like, hey, don't do that. It was in a different language, but I'm assuming she said, don't do that, because he stopped. Maybe she said, you know, save some for me. I don't know. But then she looked at me like I'm supposed to... Oh, I don't know what the look meant. But in my head, because I'm accusatory and have anxiety, I thought that she was looking at me to say, like, you know, why didn't you stop my son from eating popcorn off the ground? I didn't want to tell her, but the real reason is because, you know... We know that we're hurtling towards some kind of either automation, AI, or environmental-focused apocalypse, right? So, if Kate and I ever choose to have children, her son eating popcorn off the ground might lead to a situation in which our child has a competitive advantage in the future. I'm not suggesting he's gonna get sick and die, just that his, like, potential employer might have been watching, and he's gonna be like, weren't you that kid eating popcorn off the ground 22 years ago? You don't get to be part of my Cormac McCarthy the Raid-style roving band of mercenaries. I'm taking this kid instead, with the pop culture references who just did the parody of the Undone, the Sweater song. It sounds like he'd be good for morale in the apocalypse. Hey, does this taste funny to you? You can't see, but in my version of this joke, we're eating a clown. Or a stand-up comedian. Preferably Dane Cook, get it? Because... Would you like to consume Dane Cook? Oh, oh, oh. Does this Dane taste funny to you? It was a fun trip to the grocery store. I'm a good small talker. It might surprise you. I don't like to small talk. It's not my favorite thing to do in the world, but I don't mind to small talk. But I don't like small talk with cashiers at a grocery store for one very specific reason. Oftentimes, I grocery shop for my wife and myself. So I'm buying things that we both want, which is great for me because it means I can guilt-free buy snacks I probably shouldn't be eating because she's not there to stop me. And it's a perfect time for me to exercise what little autonomy I have. And I actually appreciate that because living with restrictions, I think, is important. Otherwise, you know, I'd be... Oh, you know, 10 for $13, I gotta get 10 family-sized bags of Doritos. You know, it's nice to have some level of societal guilt to kind of hold you in place there, I think. So what ends up happening is Kate drinks these, like, what are effectively meal replacement drinks for breakfast sometimes, because they're convenient and, you know, not horrible, although I'm like, have you ever had a breakfast sandwich? Because this is like 1/80th as good as a breakfast sandwich, but I understand, they are convenient. So she'll get like these drinks called Rumble or, you know, Soylent, which is another meal replacement drink, and without fail, I would say like 75% of the time, the cashier at the grocery store will go, oh, are these good? And then I have to face an internal quandary that should illustrate to you what goes on in my brain on a regular basis. I have to say, I don't know, my wife drinks them, which is a bad conversational thread to leave it on, because there's no way for them to respond easily. That's like, I think that's the trick to conversation, is you always want to people dangle something to you, and then you take it, and you respond, and you dangle something back that gives them, like, an easy thing to catch on to so they can respond. Like when you say, hey, what's up? And they go, oh, not too much, how are you? You go, I'm doing pretty good, but how about this weather we're having? And they go, oh, I know, right? We were going camping this weekend, but I don't think we can do it anymore. And you go, oh, camping? That's really cool. Where are you guys going? And now you're off on a flow. You got no problem. So I'm committing the cardinal conversational sin of replying to their question with just a no. It's like anti-improv. You're supposed to do yes and, but instead we're doing, actually, I'm married. And you were coming on to me. It's accusatory, right? Or I have to lie and act like I didn't mean to do that, but I feel a compulsion to lie and just to keep the conversation going better. And be like, oh yeah, no, they're really good. Like, I like the Dutch cocoa ones better than the vanilla ones, even though the vanilla ones have real maple. Because that's like, then they go, ooh, real maple. And I'm like, yeah, can you believe it? Well, I mean, at that point, I'm probably checked out because I'm not getting paid to hang out at the grocery store, unlike the other party in the conversation. But anyway, like 90% of people listening to this are going to go, NL, you're so weird. 8% of people are going to be like, you're my spirit animal. What about the other 2%? They're going to say you're so weird without realizing that they're also that person as well. You got to build in a little error there.
Well, we're on the sound of ham slapping, by the way. I want to just point out, for those of you that don't know this about deli meat, I just tried the other day. The expensive roast beef is like 18 times better than the regular roast beef.
You were talking about that, yeah.
I'm really into roast beef, and more so than ever as of today. I recommend you treat yourself and get a good beef. Just to top shelf. Just they'll say, what are you in for? You just point top shelf roast beef.
Top shelf roast beef.
But there's no such thing as a top shelf. Like, they're all at eye level.
No, mine have shelves. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, are they up high? They have the.
Do they not put the more expensive meat on a higher shelf to denote its
absolutely
higher
not?
Status?
All the shelves are at knee height or at best.
This is how cats work. You don't know this? They go on the highest shelf to show their dominance. I would think you'd know.
You're telling me you go to a deli, you look up at the meats and go,
you look as high as you can, as high as they're available.
No, I want you to answer this question honestly.
You look up. Yes, you do.
They put the meats on an upper shelf.
They have a front display that is full of different salads. Behind their backs, for best consumer vision, are the meats arranged neatly and orderly.
I have never heard of this in my life.
The higher the shelf, the better the meat. That's just how it works here in this life.
I know everyone's going, the not pre-sliced meat is up top. You know how many times I've gone to the grocery store and I get not pre-sliced meats? They're not always up at the top. I've never seen meat where someone has to like reach up or grab it.
Well, I mean,
what?
They never
have to grab the meat?
They never have to reach up and grab it.
They reach down.
They reach down. They're at like
yeah.
knee
That's how
height.
you can tell it's shitty meat because they could piss on it.
Nick,
what?
Yeah, you got to put the meat up high, so you got to get a ladder to get it.
You got to get
it's
high
not
meat.
A ladder. It's just up. It's one like arm length above them.
Okay.
That meat's been grobened into the sky.
It just seems stupid to me. Like, fuck. On a literal level, you're using energy to put the meat up there. What's up with that?
We're in the business of buying and selling energy. This is just another step in the rung of life, man.
Yeah, but I just don't understand why you would put it up high.
For viewing. For viewing.
What do you mean for viewing? You're
you
not.
gotta see it.
You're not. It's not like it's harder to see something that's down on the ground.
These people are like 5 feet tall and more. You gotta look behind them. You gotta see that up there. You gotta see that.
5 feet tall and more. If only there was some kind of like engineering way that we could solve this problem, like having the counter
put the salad in the
front of the person.
What are you talking about? This is crazy.
I just don't understand I don't understand this architecture. Chat, hear me out here, okay? What's up with these shelves? People are saying NL doesn't understand shelves. That's not the case. Just give me a 1 in chat if all of your deli meats are contained in a counter that is below waist height. And give me a 2 if they ever have to reach up or get on any kind of ladder type device to grab.
There's no ladder.
You have created a third option, though.
What's the third option?
It's either below waist height or reach up. There's a whole middle of the body section.
Yeah, that's what I was getting
my meat
at
is contained that I can't abide. I can't go one or two.
Fair, that's fair.
Do you at least, Rob, do you understand where, like, even if your deli doesn't have those things that you
I'm not.
understand
No.
shelves
You're
exist?
slandering me by assuming that I don't understand how
like
things
mad
can be
that your shelf.
No,
your shelves aren't there.
you're deliberately misrepresenting your deli, and then when I ask you to get serious, you're refusing to acquiesce.
I've never been more serious about anything.
I will say there is a famous Italian deli in Queens called Dierso's, and yeah, they keep their meat on high shelves. Actually,
It's like a meat library in there.
and they actually have like hanging sausages and shit too that you can pick out, and they got the sausages.
No, you hang
hanging up
sausages and you hang like whole chickens and ducks and stuff like that. No question.
Yeah.
I
Wouldn't
agree with that.
Make all the juice fall off?
No, they're like smoked or something first. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's usually like
They hang the sausages like it's Christmas morning, and you got the garland strung beautifully over the windows. It's like a meat Christmas in there. Meats at a higher elevation contain more potential energy, so are more calorically dense.
That's actually not true. Deli Man in chat says, Nick is wrong about the deli counter. I need you to read this.
Okay.
What do you mean I'm wrong?
Is there more?
His
You
name's
can't
Deli
make
Man.
there be a different shelf because you decided it's wrong.
Take a picture.
Got a good point.
Take a look at my deli.
Why do I have to prove everything?
The meat
to you?
is put up really high.
Take a picture next time. I need to know. I'm
Is
curious.
that inconceivable that there could be shelves?
Well, I just picture like rich mahogany shelves.
No, they're
that, like,
cheap wood.
Man with a mustache goes, might I recommend the garlic roast beef
There's
this
not
week,
even a
Monsignor?
I don't think there's a single man
Rob.
in a mustache there.
Yeah.
We just had a shipment from Parma, and I must say it's quite delightful. Do you guys ever think it's bullshit? This is a question for everybody but Austin.
Wow.
Well, you'll see why. You ever think it's bullshit that like a grocery store can close at midnight or 11 p.m., but then like the deli station and the seafood counter close a couple hours earlier than that?
Yes, and the pharmacy.
It's like the last call for the grocery store. Like they should have to advertise it.
Yeah, it is. It is.
The pharmacy does advertise
The
it.
pharmacy does every time, yeah.
Yeah.
It pisses me off because sometimes I go to the grocery store and I'm like, I'd really like to get some smoked salmon.
Oh.
And it's sitting there in the glass case with a little bit of paper over top of it. But there is no liaison that exists for me to get the smoked salmon from the case to myself. You cannot self-serve it. You cannot, there's no pre-packaged varieties. You just got to wait till tomorrow.
Can I conjecture a most likely wrong reason for that?
Yeah.
Because maybe the people at the deli counter are like certified butchers or something, and they have to they have like a different set of rules.
I don't know. Chad, I'm so mad at you lately. Someone said, I work at a grocery store. I shouldn't have to stay until 2 a.m. just because you want to buy smoked salmon late. What if they hired another person? I'm assuming you don't man the grocery store, 20... If I go to a 7-Eleven that's open 24 hours, I don't look at the dude behind the counter and go, man, you look tired. Have you been up for 365 days straight?
Oh, happy Ham Thursday, guys.
Ham Thursday,
dude, it's Ham
bitch.
Thursday. Let's go.
It's Ham Thursday, everybody.
You know what I had for lunch?
Ham. Dude, oh my god, I actually had honey ham.
Dude,
what the fuck?
Me too.
Really?
Yeah, I had a ham wrap.
Dude, I had a honey ham sandwich.
I'm ordering ham. I have to now. It's just.
Where do you order ham from?
I don't know. I'll find out. If I order a Subway, I'll get a ham sandwich.
Genuinely exciting. I actually went to the deli counter for the first time in my adult life.
In your adult life?
In my whole adult life, dude.
What'd you get?
Honey ham.
Did you make it an
You didn't
awkward
order too
interaction?
many things. Yeah.
Did you go
No,
like,
it was-
I don't really know how things work around here. Do I just like ask for what I want or something?
You know, I've just been intimidated to go up there because the less human interaction, the better. Let's be real. But I was very pleased. It was so simple. Like, it's just, here's the meats. Tell the lady what meat and how much of it you want, and then they bag it for you, and then you take it with you. It's so easy.
How did you know how much to order if you'd not ordered it before?
Well, I did have my wife there. She had, a little bit of experience and helped me out a little bit.
I mean, it's like a meat apprenticeship. That makes sense.
Are you saying your wife knows the weight of a good pork product?
I'm saying my wife knows her way around the meat.
I'm squeezing my hog to this right now.
Nice.
And you can't stop me.
I mean, as long as it's literal and not metaphorical.
Why do they call it a hog?
Because it's big and pink, and it's got two holes at the top like a pig's nose. Well, this is why I end up spending too much on groceries, because the Whole Foods is the only grocery store that pre-packages smoked salmon around us. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, I can get it from the fish counter at a cheaper grocery store, but only if I get there when they still have somebody manning the fish counter, and he goes home like 3 hours before the grocery store closes.
That is correct. So wait, if it's not pre-packaged, how do you get it?
You go to the fish counter and you go, hey, I'll take 200 grams of smoked salmon.
Just make sure you only choose 2 kinds of fish.
I've never seen anybody order something from the fish counter, so I think you could take up as much of his time as you want.
No, but like, yeah, go on.
Like the people that work at the meat counter, or like the fish counter, or whatever. Like, do you think they actually know what they're doing?
Well, ask Corey.
I think you need like if you're a butcher.
Know what they do?
Right?
Yeah, butcher is different.
Oh.
But if you work at the meat and fish counter, like, what do you mean know what they're doing?
Like, are they just some random dude they got and like, hey,
Oh,
you're working
100%.
here today?
Well, no. Usually they're in the department, but they don't necessarily have much experience.
Yeah, because whenever I think of it, I think of like some guys like, oh yeah, I know all about meat.
All you need
really-
to know is to put the meat in that automatic meat slicer machine that they have now that, you know, cuts
That's
everything.
That's the deli.
Well, that's why you need to tell the deli man like extra thin, so they don't get lazy.
Don't fucking do that.
Nah, I don't do that. I would
No,
not do that.
because sometimes, at least around here, if you don't tell them extra thin, what they'll do is you get like a 4-inch piece of ham.
Well, that's just an
make one
asshole.
sandwich.
Like,
Yeah.
if you get that, you go, sir, I said sliced, not a slice.
Ooh.
Got him!
Then he'd probably spit in your ham.
I mean, I worked at a deli for like 6 years. Yeah, that happens.
You've spit on someone's ham?
No, I mean, not me.
Oh my god.
Wait, so it does happen?
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm buying the Maple Leaf stuff from now on.
What's the so what are the rules? What can't I say at the deli?
Well, just don't annoy the fuck out of the person working in the deli. Like, you know, it's fine if you're a customer and you're specific, but if you like, you know, you cut someone's meat as thin as the machine can possibly handle, and you're like, that's not thin enough. It's like, motherfucker.
I don't want to be
There's
able
a
to
physical.
see through it.
There's a physical limit to
Yeah.
what this meat can handle.
I mean, I don't need to see through my ham, but I also
Exactly.
don't want it to be this, you know, the size of my fingernail or something.
Yeah, or don't walk up and say, I'll have 3 pounds of shredded turkey or some shit.
I always
Yeah.
wonder, like,
Fucking
what happens.
wanna murder you.
People are like, hey, I'll take 250 grams of whatever, let's say ham. And then they'll give you, like, between 240 and 260, and they're always, like, sad. They're like, is that okay? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. I didn't expect you to literally slice the exact amount. That would be insane.
So it's a little bit of a game, right? To the people working there to try and get it perfect.
Right.
Dude, there's a guy at the deli I go to. I'm like, can I get a half a pound of that thing? And he always gives me a pound. And he's like, is that okay? And I'm like, no, it's not.
That's double the amount I asked.
Yeah, it's double the amount.
Every time? How often do you go?
Every time. Like, I don't know, once or twice a month. And it's
Man,
the same
sucks.
guy. And I always hate when it's that guy, so I don't even go to him anymore. I just wait till he's not there.
Also, the deli the deli in the store I go to,
Yeah.
a couple times they've cut the meat the wrong way.
How do you,
Like
they
cut the ham,
lengthwise?
like lengthwise. So I had like a foot-long slice of ham, but I had like 4 or 5 slices in the bag, and it's not something you realize until you get home and you have to unfold the meat.
Yeah.
and put it on a sandwich.
It's
I
a
was like,
one-slice sandwich.
what the fuck did you do to this?
One time recently, I ordered some prosciutto, and they did the thing where, you know, where they put like an individual piece of paper in between each slice.
Yeah.
And I felt bad. Like, after he was doing it for a while, I was like, like, maybe half a pound's fine. Actually. Like, I don't need a pound. Like, I
You're
feel
buying more
like-
than a half a pound of prosciutto? Holy shit.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you need some prosciutto, you know what I'm saying? But,
Jesus
like,
Christ.
just like,
Dude, I had that exact same situation at the deli counter recently. I was like, I'll take 200 grams of prosciutto. And the lady was like, 200 grams? And I went, 200 grams. And she's like, it'll be all of this. And she held up like a pretty small hunk of prosciutto. And I was like, yes, that's okay. And that's how it went. She sliced it and then she gave it to me. And I don't know. I mean, it
Did she
wasn't...
just look at you stunned the entire time?
I was talking about it with Kate, and I was like, I don't know, it's like 200 grams is a pretty normal amount of lunch meat to get.
Well, I mean, if you're having like just straight prosciutto sandwich,
You should have eaten it in front of her after you ordered it. That would have been the ultimate high tea bite.
Just look into her eyes while you eat the entire thing.
Yo, the weirdest requests I would get in the deli was like, I'll have 2 pounds of liverwurst, and you have the opposite people. One guy just wants a log. He's like, oh, just cut that like one slice. I'm like, yo, dude, you're my favorite customer ever because this is the easy shit of all time. And then the next person comes on wanting liverwurst, and like, can you slice it super thin and put a piece of paper in between? I'm like, dude, this shit costs like 2 cents a pound.
You slice it according to
geometric
standards. Can you give me like 4 pentagons? Like,
I already know she's ancient, by the way, because she ordered liverwurst, so...
Dude, liverwurst is actually not bad.
I like liverwurst straight
Like,
up.
I would never have tasted it if I didn't work in the
But
deli.
the name of the food is liverwurst.
Yeah,
It's
like,
also made of
something that sounds bad already, and then the word worst is added to it.
Yeah, but that's
What's actually in it?
liver. It's
liver
just
and
straight up
worst.
liver.
Yep,
Yeah.
liver right there in the
The
title.
worst liver they can find.
Well, it's like liver. It's like ground up emulsified liver, and then like there's there's like a plastic ring around it.
Yeah,
that
you can
is
get the
inedible.
nicer liverwurst that has like the skin around it, though.
Really,
the liver
Yeah,
first.
liver skin.
I was
yeah.
going to say liver bad.
yeah, the liver best.
Okay, Corey, hear me out though.
Sure.
What if somebody goes up to the deli counter and he says, "Hey, can I try a piece of that?"
That's fine.
Okay.
I don't have the sack.
You might
do that.
get the first dried out slice off the piece, but
I didn't realize it was like Baskin Robbins. How many samples are you limited to?
I mean, within reason. There's no hard limit, but come on.
No, there's a limit. Come on, there is. And
No,
I think it's
I mean
3.
like probably anything past like 2, honestly, is a little.
See, there you go. That's the limit. I'm telling you.
But it's not like if you're nice, no one's
It's
gonna
like
care.
common sense.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And they're
Can I have
better
one
made.
of everything, please?
I don't like this. Like, all right,
Dude,
bitch,
sometimes
you're getting
some-
the cheap jelly turkey.
some deli counters I've gone to, like I'll order like, yeah, let me get a pound of that Virginia ham over there, mister, and they'll just always give me a sample no matter what.
Yeah.
Like I don't even ask for it, and that's awesome.
Yo, Virginia ham's fucking weird, by the way. Oh, I got a double digit. Let's go.
Oh,
What's wrong
welcome to
with
the
Virginia
club.
Virginia, it's like covered in like weird red jelly.
That's the Virginia.
Exactly.
That's the Mountain Mama.
There are like people, they'll spend like 10 hours at the deli counter. Because I know like the one time I went, I was like, I'm just going to get something real quick. And the person ahead of me was like ordering for, I think, 15 minutes. Like it was actually insane.
like,
There's like, can I try this? And then they try it. And like,
dude.
No, all right, give me half a thing of that. And then, and then
You
it's
are
like 10
preaching
people
to the
behind.
choir.
And all this is a big boy. This is a big boy. All the deli employees will commiserate with this story where like someone comes up and goes, "Oh, can I have 3 pounds of your most expensive turkey breast sliced as thin as possible?" And then you're like, "Oh, is this okay, ma'am?" And you're like, she's like, "No, thinner." And I'm like, I can't go thinner. So I'm just gonna go back to the machine, pretend to slice, and show you the same one again, and then ask you if this is okay. And 100% of the time they go, "That's much better." If only you knew, you stupid.
Wow.
Those are the kinds of people that
That's
get
some pent-up anger.
And then one time those words slipped out on accident to the customer, and that's why Corey doesn't work at the deli counter.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Why do people want it so thin?
I don't know,
get
dude,
it.
because you can't like, or the other thing is if it's a resentful employee, they'll take your stack of meat and put some fingerprints in it.
Wait, what?
They'll put a little bit of pressure on it in the bag,
Oh yeah, that's way better.
so you're never gonna get those. Those things.
Yeah, Well, okay, so I mean, like, I order it thin, and I order it thin for the reason that I said. Like, if I don't, if I don't, then that like when I pick up a slice, it won't flop. Like it's just holding straight up, and that's not. I'm not doing.
It's like mayo at Subway. You go, just give me a little mayo, please.
Yeah.
Because if you just say, "Give me mayo," is that enough? Oh, that's plenty. Thank you.
I do that at Chipotle with the sour cream. I'm like, just a little sour cream. They still like glob it on.
Yeah.
Do they use a caulk gun?
I wish they did. It'd probably be more precise.
Well, they probably think they're like doing you a solid, you know? They're probably just like,
It's a primo topping.
Giving this guy extra sour cream.
Real talk, when I was in college and we were not really poor but pretended to be, we would go to like this ramshackle place for trivia night. It's actually like really nice. But we'd get there like after the people had eaten dinner, and some of them would just leave like platters of nachos where they'd eaten the tortilla chips. And my friend and I were like, yo, there's some good olives and sour cream left on that.
Exactly where that was going.
Yep.
You mentioned that there was food left out on the table.
And we would just like eat their garbage. I was like, dude, there's free olives. You know how expensive olives are? I'm not buying those from the grocery store on my budget. What, I let
like $2 for a whole jar.
I'm gonna let the staff take it away and throw it in the trash? Absolutely not. It's good food.
I think this is going to be an arguable point. Is that safe food?
I don't think it's safe. No. I mean, it's likely to be safe, but I don't think it's unsafe.
Dude, we used to go. I just realized how fucking awful this story is. So, we used to go.
Please continue.
We used to go Dunkin' Donuts late at night, at midnight when they're closing. They throw out the old bagels and donuts and shit behind the fucking store by the dumpster. They're not, they're not eating it anymore. Pick up a couple boxes of donuts and bagels, for free. It was great.
Out of the trash.
Free food. What you're saying is the raccoon thing. That's not a joke.
No, I am a raccoon.